You're now tuning into the sounds of the Potnas Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed to give you what you need, it's your boy Young Tizzle and Young Dino. Oh, freestyle love such an A. It's the Potnas Potnas Podcast. Yeah, ho, we are the best. A nigga so smart, I don't need no fucking test. Now let me bust the D where he gon' shed all the rest. Hey,
to me it's episode 27. I'm on my knees praying, I'ma go to heaven. Oh shit, I'm an angel and I'ma bless him. Boy, I preach it to you little niggas like a
Reverend.
Pick it back up.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn last time, give a fuck. Please listen to me. Back to JT.
Hey.
Man, what you saying, nigga?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm about to put the mic up. Coming through, I'm about to hit the fight up.
Oh!
Yeah, boys got me on the podcast. About to put me on blast. Yeah, I'm first, not last.
About to kick some ass. Motherfuckers! Give him a fucking horn! God, give him an explosion!
I'm gonna give him
Give him an explosion! Boy!
Gunshots.
What a debut!
Well, I was finna get my...
Oh my gosh! Ladies and gentlemen,
I had to...
that was a Potnas Podcast first. We finally got somebody besides Dino and myself to jump on the freestyle.
I didn't mean to like switch the flow up so much. Like
Todd Knows Best is here. He is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
The beat changed and you came right in there.
I overwhelmed
right
myself.
in the pocket.
I overwhelmed myself.
Yeah.
My hand is shaking because I was ready. I was literally preparing to engage, and then I just hear, yeah. And I'm like,
I saw him
who is
first
that?
try to double dutch in there. I was like, what? Let the man in. Let the man in.
I passed it to you, and that was my bad. I didn't.
No, bro. Hey, take
know. I know.
Yeah, he picked it back up and then passed it.
Is that the best session?
I don't. It's not for me to say.
Fire.
Hey.
If y'all say so.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the audience will tell us. Y'all go tell us which one.
welcome to the Potnas Podcast, where we're delivering our perspective on topics, news, and shit. We are your hosts, the Potnas. First up is the partner working the board. He is a man of knowledge and many words. Give it up for Dino, aka the Dictionary.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, people?
Oh yeah. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling really good, bro.
Dashiki is fresh up in this thing. Very colorful.
Yeah,
very vibrant,
bright, shining bright. You feel me?
Yes.
Like a diamond. Speaking of Rihanna, put a coat on that baby.
Hey, if you had an African accent, would you be like a?
I'm so nervous.
Yes. Like, would you be soft spoken or would you be like yes?
I feel like no matter what
Like
my
aggressive?
accent was, I would always have the same size voice. You feel me?
I feel like he would be a light African
I wonder if
accent.
he would be Yoruba or...
A light, never a light.
Have I told you about my
I was
father?
adopted by Igbo people, bro.
Oh, there you go then.
Yeah, but I love your.
I've been told that I look like I have the facial features of a traditional Igbo warrior. I'm also not lying. This was recent.
No, I'm not.
This was recent. Yeah.
Yo,
Hey, with that said, next to Dino is the coolest partner with the world's greatest beard of all time.
Coolin' and
Clap it
Poolin',
up
baby.
for Bradley, a.k.a. Coolin' and Poolin', ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I thought I said I wanted Chicago gunshots every
Oh
time.
damn! I'm listening to JT. He don't know what's going on.
What did JT have to do with that?
He was like,
Because
clap
he
it up.
said clap it up.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
everything's
okay. Hey,
It's
good
okay.
job for paying
It's all
attention.
right.
Hey, I'm on
I'm
Church
here.
boy, soundboard.
Not the church boy soundboard. With a plate of spaghetti in front of him.
All right.
That's how they always
Hey, across at a 45-degree angle from the coolest partner is the people's plug, the plug's plug, your plug's plug.
Man.
It is Todd Knows Best, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, it's great to be alive. So
Yes,
here.
and it's great to have a third wheel finally on the freestyle train. Golly.
Agreed.
I will say I never liked being a third wheel, but it is.
Thank you for
like a mother.
I got you.
Right, but
Yes.
you never hit the road without a plug.
Right.
That's a fact.
Something we learned.
Wagwan, bro.
Context.
And make way for the greatest partner of them all. It is the most extraordinary, electrifying, explosive partner of them all.
I'm sorry, Courtney. I'm so sorry, bro.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
I'm sorry, bro.
Giving minstrelsy.
God damn it, it is.
It's a shit sound like a mom, bro.
Was it
Welcome to Black History
Was it the shaking of the index fingers?
It's the shucking and jiving for
He gave me
me.
spirit fingers right now. I'm a picking a cat for my people.
No, I actually prefer the Roaring 20s, the 1920s.
Yeah.
Hey, since we are in Black History, we just blessed y'all with a little bit of Black History
Was that
knowledge.
Prohibition?
It was.
Prohibition.
It was.
Prohibition.
Was it?
Yeah.
Look, I'm a history major. And I can't even remember
That's
that.
the Prohibition
That's
era.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's- yeah.
All right. Fact check. All right. I am Mr. Somebody Had to Say It. It is JT, but you know me as the Live Thrizzle, ladies and gentlemen. Young Tizzle. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's gonna be one more extra.
He's gonna
sound
keep
effect
adding them every
week.
time. Yeah.
Give it up for our screen man that presents us at our best. Monitor man Chris Anderson, a.k.a. Iron the Exposure.
Oh, baby.
Hey, and consider yourself lucky because you're the only person that shares an explosion with me. All right.
You did ask somebody to get an explosion last year. You asked that TJ, but he did hop in a freestyle. So
And JT, don't you see how just the explosion is enough for him?
I just want like
See how that-
I want like a
See how that
techno.
works?
Can I get like
See how that's just enough.
I want
I got
like,
you.
like a techno. Like
I already know what you need.
Bradley,
I got
do you want to make it to the end of the season?
Listen,
Damn, he
y'all
just
asked for me to be here.
monitor man.
Well, we're just putting it all out there
The
now.
monitor man, the cable guy.
It's
Monitor.
iron exposure.
What?
Iron
One word. Iron exposure.
Iron exposure. That's actually 2 words.
Well, no, it's together.
Oh yeah.
The way
He put a "the" in between there, like Megan D. Stallion. Megan D. Exposure.
That Rochester Public Education, ladies and gentlemen.
Iron the Stallion.
Wow.
2 to 3.
Hey.
All right. Hey, and ladies and gentlemen, we have not kicked off Courtney from the Potnas podcast, by the way.
Quite the contrary.
Courtney is just handling some business. He has taken a leave of absence, but he will return soon, all right?
doubt.
So, yeah.
Big up the homie.
Y'all stop with the rumors, okay?
Big up the homie.
Stop telling.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought that sounded like a sound.
It did, but it wasn't. It was him. He hit the falsetto on these niggas.
All right, fit check, all right? So, TJ sporting the alma mater? Okay.
Yeah, man. I felt in the spirit
The
somehow.
eyes of Texas.
I still owe them money, but I love them somehow. We all do. I guess.
How far are you along with your student loans?
Don't. Why you do that to people? Why do you do that to people?
What?
How far am I along? About as far along as Joe Biden is forgiving my loans.
Okay.
Look into the camera when you say
So
that.
you made no progress.
I'm about as. They heard me.
Okay. All right.
He heard me. He
Good
heard
to
me.
know.
I'm about as far along
Shout out
as Jocelyn Hernandez is in a rap career.
Oh, that's really bad, bro.
Which means
Dino?
I had some successes. Do it like it's your B-Day.
Hey, Dino is the oldest out of all of us. You should be the closest one to
He
being debt
was
free.
So done.
Should be.
Where within?
However, the way my bank account is looking.
Slow and steady.
No, you know what though? I'm not gonna front. I'm stacking mad cheddar right now, and this
That's
is kind
what's
of
up.
bleeding to the updates. But I'm stacking so much cheddar because them payments don't resume until May.
That's what's up.
So please believe the
Oh,
money's
wow.
moving. Please
Yeah.
believe. Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, the people that call you about student loans have student loans.
that's a fact. Yeah, they be on your side.
So
with
they
that.
don't even believe
That she gonna pay these other
in
guys.
this phone call.
That's them like working on etching it off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
They
They're
just
like,
trying to
hey,
get
help
some-
me out by
help me help you help me.
right.
Anybody do the thing
I
where
like
you
that.
pay for 10 years? Because we've been out of school about 10 years.
No, so I know people who've tried it, and there's always a loophole by which they
Yeah, like,
disqualify
you
you.
missed a payment in March 2014.
You almost missed the payment, and therefore you did, and so
Yeah.
you didn't.
Have y'all gotten those calls from like the freshmen at UT? They're just like, oh, hey, we wanted to know if
I
you
used to
were
give the calls.
I used to work at the call center as well.
I did too.
the
yeah.
general.
For my
You're like,
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
It was
I quit after like a month.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
stayed out
did
for
one
much
day.
longer.
One day my freshman year.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew that shit was wrong. I was like, this is terrible.
how dare they get the
I
freshmen
worked
like
there for a
swindle them
long
to
time.
call like people that literally just graduated at the university to pay to donate to the
it
university.
helped. I'll be honest, I needed that
Insane.
shit. It prepared me for life. I was
What did you need? Being the person to
I
call
was
or
abused. Yeah, I used to call, and people used to cuss me the fuck out. I'll tell you my worst call, and I end it here. I called somebody, and I think her name was Betty. And actually, I know that's her name because it's traumatizing.
it's engraved in your name, in your
So I
brain.
called Betty.
Shout out, Betty.
And yeah, please, I apologize, Betty. But God bless Betty. Betty answered the phone. Hey, baby. I said, hey, Betty. I'm looking for, let's just say Todd. I'm looking for Todd. Baby. I say, yeah, just listen. At this point, I got nose all goddamn day. I was hella persistent. I was driven. I just listen. I just want to talk to him real quick. I'm calling from the School of Liberal Arts on behalf of the University of Texas. I had the script memorized.
Yeah, they pump you up, baby.
Pump you up. I'm
yeah.
like, listen. First ask, listen. No, thank you. Second ask, you got to ask 3 times. Get to the third ask. She says, listen. Listen. Todd is dead.
Oh,
She tried. She tried to warn you.
Oh, you, bro. Why were you pushing for the 3 asks?
Listen.
Is that how you get like a commission?
It was. I mean, the calls were recorded for training purposes. You had to push the 3. You had to try to get the 3 out of them.
How did y'all get sucked into doing that job?
It was just
doing
a
that
job.
gig.
I knew somebody who was doing it. Everybody knew about
Same.
it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
It was like supposedly the easiest job on campus.
To make money.
Bro,
Yeah.
It was, bro, getting that job was like as easy as getting sucked into getting a credit card at 18.
Oh, facts.
Bro, it was,
That's a fact.
or
yeah.
selling
not that I got one at
textbooks.
18. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it was that
I
easy
had
to
one.
get in.
I had a credit card when I was making those calls and that
So it's
one.
double negatives.
Yeah.
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 That was a positive experience.
Yeah, those
from
are-
that.
Right.
You were bound to learn from that.
I was
shitty
bound to be in
experience.
debt.
But it was a mistake.
What you were thinking there.
Can you do the de-escalation sound?
All right, let's get into a debrief of the week. All right,
Oh,
so
we missed the fit. Damn.
oh yeah. Fit check. All right,
Let B-Rad
so
start it off.
yeah.
I get to start.
check his fit first.
Okay, you're not going to address me this week, right?
Well, no. I was
All
trying.
right, so there's a shoe.
Don't put your foot up. That's the problem you make every time.
Yes.
Because then he does
then
that.
he ends up pulling up.
those are
Every
the,
time.
So we
check
have
check
a,
the earth tones with the
an
with
earth tone khaki
olive
are
socks.
those,
Yeezy
Those are the Yeezy joints.
Yeah,
450s.
Yeezy Boost
The Moon
450s.
There's no boost technology. It's ortholite in these.
It's
Ortholite. What is that? Expound,
Which
please.
is, I don't know, orthopedic. I don't know.
that means it
They
costs
look like
$300.
It's called the Alienware.
It feels really
does
good.
look like-
The sole. Feels
How does
really
it feel
good.
to you?
It feels like the depths of hell have. And Kanye, we're gonna say a lot of positive things about you today, but these are not very comfortable. They're just super cute.
So why are you wearing? Oh, that's super cute.
Yeah, because I mean, look at me, duh. But I also have on
Bitch,
a
what?
very Yeezy like sweater set. I mean sweatsuit.
Yeah.
And
How much did you pay for this? The suit.
Well, you don't got to ask all them questions. About how much?
But I can answer, baby.
Okay, go ahead. You do your thing. Shit.
Is it a Zara?
I'm a high low type of guy.
Oh yes.
This was purchased for $19.99 at
Hey,
Macy's.
God
This
damn
is
it.
Sun and Stone. Nobody should know about that.
Never heard
The whole
of shit in my life.
the combo.
Yeah, both together, $20. And then the shoes are the most expensive thing on my body. These are from Amazon, $4.99, zero shipping.
You bought those from Amazon?
Of course.
Wow.
And then not my shoes, my glasses.
Oh,
Because I was like, what?
sorry. I was still looking at
listening to
you.
you.
I was still captivated by the
Listen to this. The alien shoes?
the hospital shoes. They look like
Was
when
that an
you
insult?
may have been.
Wow.
Take it how you see. Subjective.
Wow.
It looks like when you put the booties on your shoe when you're walking in and to go and paint somebody's house, or
Like that a little bit.
Come on, man.
that's exactly what it looks like.
Fam, now you said you wasn't going to undress him, bro.
Yeah.
And then you talked about
And
the
then you
booties.
just,
You just,
tore me apart.
I didn't say that I'm not digging the fit.
I should have let. I
Oh,
should
okay.
let
Well,
him
let's
undress
led
me.
with that.
Let's get into what I'm wearing, please.
Yes.
All right, so
Tell us what you're wearing, JT.
Yeah.
I am wearing.
Some Disney, hellified.
no, this one's Pixar.
Yeah,
Let me get it
this
right.
is Pixar.
But it is Disney Pixar.
This is a $60 shirt, and it is
Okay, Mama.
The price
it is
so
the
important.
scene of the best part of the Toy Story film,
In your opinion.
where they were free falling, and there was a rocket attached to Buzz Lightyear's self person.
It meant so much.
And he cut open the rocket and opened his wings, and then they were flying,
That shit was real good.
and they flew, or they were falling in style, if you will, and all the way to Andy's mama's car,
Andy Mama
They're,
House.
they're flying in style, huh?
falling
in
falling
style.
with style.
I remember one time I was falling.
We're not flying.
Andy
We're
Mama House.
falling with style. Shout out to Buzz Lightyear. You never saw Toy Story?
I have. I just don't be remembering movies, so we better get to talking about this documentary.
All right, debrief of the week. TJ, how was your?
Oh man, it's just staying on the grind, man, so I can shine, so everybody can shine. Just pushing with school rotations. Just
You graduated in May, right?
I graduated in May from pharmacy school from Texas Southern University.
God damn it.
You
Give me
already
some love for
Yes.
The blackest part of my heart warmed up.
Hey, man.
No, man.
So after
Man.
this, I think I'm done. But
Facts.
yeah, we're just pushing through, man. Taking it one day at a time.
When can we utilize and leverage you for prescriptions?
That's illegal as fuck.
He's probably also going through the ethics part right now too, and I don't think this is
You don't have to answer that question.
So let's reword
I don't.
that.
I have a
Let's
lawyer
reword.
that can answer that for me, but
There we
probably
go.
never.
It's already
Thank you.
look, probably never. Good,
Never.
Good to
job.
say that
Good job.
on the record.
yeah.
You passed the test.
All right.
Everyone, congratulations.
Be rad. How was your week? I know it was eventful.
It was. I did some arts and crafts on Monday for Valentine's Day.
All right.
Did you have a date?
Talk about it.
That was the date. Was we painted some stuff.
Yes.
That just is a poor term to use for the
Very
type of day
bad,
I was
because I
on.
found out what that shit means.
That's
Pun intended.
I'll let y'all Google.
Wait,
it.
what does paint mean? Well,
Let's not
enlighten me.
No.
You do be sucking farts out, but this one
Okay.
takes it way too far. This
I found
definition
out.
you should do personal research
Yes.
All right.
on. But we painted canvases with paints with acrylic paint.
There you go.
So you're in a relationship.
No, I'm not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Did it go down?
See, that's what's wrong with straight people. Yep. There's always some sort of. If you go on a date, that don't mean you with the.
You
No.
say you don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Unless you're in a relationship, you're right. I said I don't believe in it.
Shit.
But I
He's
did.
a hypocritical nigga.
I'm a Valentine's hypocrite. And then I celebrated to see how I segue to not that anymore.
Good job.
Then I celebrated my 1 year anniversary with the company I work for, and it was
Yes.
nice. It was
That's
really
dope.
cool.
Go, man.
How does
That's
it
what's
feel?
up, bro.
It feels good. I haven't had a review, a real one yet, so we'll see how much better I feel when I get there. But I'm very
coming
excited
soon.
to have.
Do y'all
them.
have any kind of merit-based compensation increasing or something?
Yeah, well, our Neiman Marcus's year runs not on the calendar year.
Yeah,
we run from July to July, well, August to July.
Oh, fiscal
Yeah.
year. Okay.
So I won't see no extra money possibly until end of the summer.
Gotcha.
That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, that's. And then I came here and I had a good time. And
Why do y'all
So
always
shitty.
take everything that I say? So,
Hey, hold on. So that's it?
That's all you got going on in your life?
So that's all you
it?
got, my nigga?
no, I thought that it was,
That's all you got for me today?
like-
all right. So, Dino, what you got going on in your life?
yeah, D, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Segue to myself. There we go, baby. You should think
excellent job.
about So for me, right? It's a couple things. The first of which
Oh, boy.
is
And get it off,
give me
man.
30 minutes. No, seriously. No, seriously. The first of which is I just want to take a moment to celebrate blackness. I'm unapologetically black. I think everyone should love who they are, love where they come from, dig your steez, your culture, all that shit. But like, we get the month, so at the very least, I want to take a moment to just celebrate us and all of our blackness.
Why is
Yes.
that? Why just the subtle, or the sudden?
The not so subtle, in fact. But I would say it's because we're going to get into a couple things, and I just really want to celebrate us. I think we are beautiful people.
Yes.
A lot of which is popular is because of us. I saw an Elvis trailer today for a biopic that's coming out, and a lot of what he did was born from us, and not just him, but
Cultural appropriation at its finest.
at its finest. But I mean, we are the birthplace we're the cradle of life and civilization. So I just want to give us a big up. We're beautiful. The other thing is, I just want to, I want to encourage the people to take time to reclaim your time
Yes,
and
sir.
make time for shit that matters, because I've been spending more time doing things that serve me and like serve my whatever, my creative need, my spirit better than I have before. And like Tizzle, this bleeds into what you talking about. Painting. I've been doing a lot of painting lately. A lot of a different type
You've
of
been
creative
doing some
expression.
painting?
Big facts on walls and shit.
Okay,
But it's just
thank you.
reminded me, it's you got to take time to do what you love, because this shit is, to me, is like recreational. It's I love it. And
Yeah, that ties into my week.
I'll let
Well,
you talk about it, but I'll just say from my perspective in doing it, shit feels real good. So it's like, it reminds me, you gotta take time to do what you love, because some shit.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way. And I also want our listeners to learn how to be authentic and as transparent as possible with their friends.
Hey.
But it's been great seeing you in this light. Like you have been.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Like noticeably happier and just literally glowing. Like guys, gentlemen have a glow as well.
Yeah.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We all shine. Yeah.
What Dino means by painting, I'll provide some context, is he's actually painting Keiko, my soon to be here daughter's room. And yes,
that was a great use of that.
Shout out Keiko.
Yeah, Keiko's room, her theme is a sky kingdom. Okay, so and if you need an elaborate picture of what that may look like, because I am a visual person, if you've ever played Super Mario 64, just think about the moment where he gets the hat with wings and he's flying in the sky, and there's floating platforms with castles on top of them, or just some type of cathedral on top of a floating platform, and clouds everywhere. But the clouds are lavender. All right. So we have 3 different shades of lavender that Sam and D have curated.
Yeah, man.
And
this has been fun.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome seeing you bring that to bring the room to life.
No doubt.
And a lot of people when I put that video on my Insta story, a lot of people reached out and commented. They were like, "Oh my gosh, that looks fantastic." I was like, "It's not even halfway done yet." They're already like, is he in service? Like, can I book him?
That's the part I was waiting for.
And I'm actually like I've kind of been putting them off because I know that you don't need that right now. You're glowing because you have been just basking in your craft.
It's freeing, and it's outside of what I do. Because I'll be honest, I do what I love professionally as well, and through Black Room and through my affiliation with my other clients. But like this is a form of creative expression I haven't been able to do lately, and so this is an outlet. That's what I'm saying. Make time for what you really, really dig.
Yes. It's good to see you happy, brother. Yeah. And it just makes everybody else in the room happy.
Not that I haven't. Hold on. Not that I've been like.
I've been miserable until
No.
Wall and Keiko.
Look,
but he's right. I have thoroughly enjoyed this process, and it's dope.
It just looks like your brain can finally breathe. Yeah. And when your brain and your mental capacity can finally breathe and exercise,
that's real.
Then everything else just kind of follows suit. Yeah, right.
For sure.
You kind of like your heart.
You start to look and feel more of like you have been.
Yeah.
You're enhanced. You're smiling more. You're more colors.
You feel
more
better.
Skin might look clearer.
Man,
I agree.
Right.
It's
exactly.
a good feeling.
And D is very articulate. I mean, he's already naturally an articulate person, but he's been very expressive, and he's been very concise with his points. You know, everybody knows that D can be long-winded, right? But D gets straight to the point, and he's been feeling comfortable explaining himself.
I wonder if it has an effect. Like, you know, you were talking, the way that you explained it was like a release, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe it does affect the other ways that we communicate or express ourselves. So like your words, in times that you don't get a creative release, might affect the way that you perform in other ways that express your talents.
Yeah. I think that could be true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me finish off my week. So, from Keiko, since we're on the topic of Keiko, I'm actually making Keiko a playlist. Curating music, and TJ actually came to mind.
Is this music you plan to play like with her?
With her, and for her to listen to. It's very empowering music. It's music of love, about woman becoming the beacon of hope and just inspiration and aspiration. And it's also a lot of just very subtle and soothing music. What my mother did when I was growing up was shout out to Mama Kim. She put a boombox with a jazz playlist, a jazz custom.
What kind of jazz?
Cassette tape.
We talking Miles. We talking
yes, Miles Davis and Duke Ellington. Oh yes. A little bit of Kenny G. And things of that. Boney James.
There you go.
So and that helped soothe me and made me into the creative mind that you hear and see today, ladies and gentlemen. So like out to Ma Dukes,
early
Mama
childhood
Kim.
development.
Right, exactly. Attended a newborn.
You can really tell, like when them kids just like
fact.
Like in a 2-year-old. You ever met like a smart ass 2-year-old? It's because their parents were thinking about shit before the baby ever exited the vagina.
Musically inclined.
Yes.
We all are, actually.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Big fact.
These are the times where you instill the most you'll be able to change your child.
The minds are most porous
Yes.
during this time. Seriously, they have. You know what's ill? They absorb so much, so fast, and you'll be looking like, God damn, how you know? Your little one will hit you with something like, you called mommy selfish. I was like, damn, I ain't even red. I'm so sorry. And you feel so bad, but you don't realize they absorb so much.
They see
so
and hear
fast.
everything.
Yeah.
She don't have she don't have a mom or whatever. What was that?
Yeah, she ain't got no mom. Me and D and Jen and Sam were watching a movie. I think it was called Underground 6 with Ryan Reynolds
And
on
Jewel's
Netflix.
watching her tablet. We think she's not giving two fucks about what we're watching.
It's her and her cousin, and they're just playing and coloring at the table, and we're watching this freaking dark action flick by Michael Bay, and this guy murders another guy, and he falls into the pool, shoots him in the head, and then this kid was watching the whole time, and the kid walks out, and he walks to the murderer, and she was like, or the murderer looks to the kid and he's like, "Where's your mother?" I don't have one. And then Jewel says, "Oh, she ain't got no mommy."
And I'm like,
We busted out laughing, and then Jim was like, "Okay, come on, let's go." Oh, she ain't got no
About that
mommy.
time.
And still to this day, we use that quote. She ain't got no mommy.
Jewel is so smart.
She's so
to
smart.
that
man.
point, you never know what they're not even, like they are. Just assume they are absorbing at all times.
Jewel believes on Spider-Man. Like she saw Into the Spider-Verse, and she's like,
Hopefully
"Uncle JT."
Hopefully the kids absorb the right information.
That's the point.
Yeah.
But hold on, but it makes you more conscious of what you put out because saying and doing anything, they're watching you at all times. So
Uncle JT is Spider-Man to Jewel. That's so sweet.
That's dope, right?
That is so sweet.
And that makes me feel special. I'm like, all right, I'm fulfilling my purpose, and that's how I want to be. I would love to audition for Spider-Man one day.
You gotta learn.
like
You gotta
one
do
of
some
my.
more flipping. You gotta do some tumbling.
Oh, like that's actually my
you
background.
gotta take the able
Power
approach and get
Rangers
you some.
training.
Get
Y'all
you
never see me flip, huh?
Nah.
We're gonna have to go to a
trampoline. You got a big
like-
ass backyard. Get you a trampoline.
Yeah.
This is how grown adults maim themselves.
Yeah.
I broke my ankle and my hand.
No. I used to. I've gotten several gigs and parts in theaters. You know, I'm a thespian.
You are. That's
And one of my best roles that I received like true accolades and awards for. No, not Cats. It was the Diary of Adam and Eve, and I played the snake. And the snake,
of course.
you know, the commedia dell'arte, you had to put a lot of focus into your body language. Your body language had to speak for itself. And I had to be one of very little words. But when I did speak, you know, I had to lead with a lot of my S's. And you probably hear like the whistling whenever I use my... Yeah, sure. But anyways, I had to actually do a front flip off of a stage onto the main stage.
Like land on your feet on the main stage?
Like, yes. So I front flipped from a 7-foot platform onto the stage, then did a tuck and roll,
A tumble,
and then to the tip of the stage, to where like my toes were literally like hovering over the edge of the stage, and I had my right hand, and it was like the actual
snaking. Okay.
gaping mouth of the snake.
As you cling to the edge of the stage. I was like,
Yes.
Oh, he was hitting that, man.
I haven't done any special effects theater, but
Yeah, you're a thespian too, right, bro?
I am.
Yes,
I think the worst
yes.
I did was throw myself into like a bunch of fake lockers over and over. I played Nick in Fame, and
Dig.
and there's a part where he's like so super excited for the school play where he's playing in like some Shakespearean film. It was probably Romeo and Juliet. Oh yeah, because it actually the story models Romeo and Juliet. Anyway,
Okay.
where he like bursts out into theatric character and like runs and hits into a thing of lockers. My shoulder hasn't been the same since about 10th grade.
Dude, if you try to like break through a door with your shoulder, you got to learn how to come at it.
Have y'all tried to do
ankle.
that? You've done
Yes,
that
I
before?
have.
Is this like in real life or like when you were being a thespian?
Both. Like
I've done a lot of stupid
real life
physical
in military.
Me too.
I tried growing up in the hood, and then
before
yeah, man.
it's unfortunate.
tried
Never
life.
talk about
I attended a newborn class.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
I saw that.
How was that, friend?
That was
'Cause I
really
remember
cool.
My time,
Yeah,
doing that shit.
It was kind of hard taking a night class, but we made it through. It was 2 hours
people
long.
or the time.
It was 8 other couples there. It was another black couple, and then a Hispanic couple, and then the rest.
Were y'all
were
the
white.
only? What was the?
We were the
mix between-
youngest. We were the youngest couple, and we also were the earliest due.
okay.
So
we
the
had the
furthest
earliest.
along.
Yes,
Y'all
we
were
had the furthest
Jay-Z and
along.
Beyonce in the class.
So
That's what it sounds like.
and we
yeah.
surprisingly knew a lot. I did learn a few different things.
Was it really surprisingly?
Huh?
Is it really surprisingly? Your mom bought you a pregnancy encyclopedia over there, so.
Yeah. I haven't cracked it open though. But
don't
I just learned through like just conversation and growing up in a
Facts.
household of women. And then also one thing I did learn, what an unwritten rule, or I guess a myth. A lot of women think that a baby can't sleep in a room with a fan on. Or you have to adjust the temperature to the baby's comfort, right? And you don't. You actually, the baby adjusts to your room temperature and your needs and your preferences. So I love to sleep in a very cold room, and so does Sam. And Sam was under the impression she's
Gotta acclimate that baby.
right, that we had to live in a freaking 89 in a furnace.
Yeah, temper that baby.
Right. And I was like, no. And so I asked the question, and she was like, the instructor was like, yeah, no, the baby adjusts to your temperature and what your preferences are in the house. So that was kind of cool.
Okay, Tizzle, I got a question for you.
What's up?
You went to the parenting class.
Yep.
What was the biggest thing that you learned that was unexpected? For me, it was the breastfeeding thing. I'm a changed man now, having learned about breastfeeding.
They actually didn't touch too much on the breastfeeding. That's a separate class.
I condemn
But I learned a lot about stools.
Actually. Oh, so shit. For
Yeah,
those
a
watching.
lot about shit. Yeah.
Stool is shit.
Actually, stew. Yeah, because there's nothing solid about it. And if it is solid, if it is solid, then that means that the babies are constipated. And and if it happens for a second time, you got to take them to the hospital or call the pediatrician. Right?
They are dehydrated.
But yeah, if so for newborns, the stool is supposed to be completely like dark and black. And
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Green stool means
baby cross
green
that off
city
my
stool. No, we're enlightening the people, right? This is edutainment.
No,
It is.
Yeah.
We're talking about, it's perspective on
All right, that's enough shit for the week.
I was going to get
That's
there.
enough shit for the week.
And stool.
Let's get into take us into
We
news,
covered
Dino.
the S part. Yeah, we did.
That was actually really hilarious. Good job, fellas. I'm proud of y'all. Yeah.
It's my favorite song.
Yeah.
This was so
Freestyle is
hilarious.
part two.
The last episode when you hit that, when Bradley was explaining a breakthrough, and you hit it perfectly. You hit the news button perfectly, and it sounded like he was having like a whole orgasm revelation.
Not an orgasm. We had a lot of sexual moments last week.
We did.
Too many.
Watching that
apparently.
episode back was very fun.
A lot of
to watch.
innuendo.
To our listeners, make sure you check out Love, Sex, and Reciprocity, episode 26. Oh, man. That was an enjoyable episode. And you can actually watch the episode full
In fact, yeah.
on our YouTube channel.
Go do
right?
that.
Yeah. Go to potnaspodcast.com, click the YouTube icon in the top right, and that'll take you directly to our YouTube channel, and you can view all of our full video episodes, because we just started in season 4.
All of your
about it.
beautiful faces.
Yep. Every Thursday.
Or go to YouTube and search Potnas Podcast, Potnas Podcast.
Oh, yeah. So let's get into the news. I think this topic alone is going to just take up the whole news segment.
I have a feeling.
Kanye's documentary. Genius. And I love how he spelled it too. J-E-E-N and then U or
Y-U-S.
Y-U-H-S.
Spell it phonetically is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love doing that. That's one of my
and
favorite
It
things.
is fun.
Very fitting title.
Noun.
Very creative. I'm a huge fan of Kanye. Not necessarily of all like the things that he's notorious for right now and for the past decade maybe, ever since Taylor Swift thing. But man, I'm gonna give y'all the floor to open up about it first. I'll just say this small piece before I close it out. This did wonders.
I'm gonna give the floor, but actually I'm not. I'm just gonna say something.
No. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
No, that was good. No, start us off.
Yeah.
That was good. Tell us what you were gonna say.
Yeah, man. So this is a 3-part documentary, and only part 1 has been released at this point. And
Part 2 comes out February 20th. Actually,
cool. Maybe it's leading to his album release, Donda 2.
that's gonna be on Stem
it's
In order to have a
projected.
Netflix doc, they've been thinking about this for forever. Actually, that second half of the album probably didn't exist until he had this documentary in the works.
That's a fact.
So for our listeners, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but
Big
yeah,
one,
so
big one.
if-
Turn it off if you care about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not a Kanye fan, or if you're just not too sure about the direction he's heading in, I guarantee you want to listen or watch this documentary.
This is good for anyone.
I promise you, you're going.
It's just a good film.
It's going to change your whole perspective.
Or not.
Or not. I mean, this is based off of Act 1.
That's a
Yeah.
This is just Act 1.
And it's just a good, well,
That's a great, yeah.
It's easily one of the most inspiring pieces of visual content that you're going to see, because you see it like how it all began, not necessarily with the whole arrogant ego, but just a man with a dream, or a person with a dream, if you will.
what's the word, Todd knows best, you mentioned that you got to keep in mind when watching this joint?
Fruition.
Is in fact
The word fruition, and that's the word of word of the day. Do you know?
It's not, but in fact it is.
Okay,
There we go.
all right, cool.
Now it is. Well, actually, I want to let's go in this backwards then. Huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's back into it.
Because you said we are on part 1. Let's
are.
not forget that.
Part 1's called Vision, by the way.
let's
Part
not
1 is called
forget.
Vision.
And for somebody who's watching this to be saved by this documentary, I made the mistake of saying like, "Oh yeah, this will fix all that," and then I was like, "Oh wait, he's going to become an asshole."
Yeah.
But that's
This is
okay,
the
because
making
at
of-
least we explained the assholery. I feel like a lot of people are mad at him because they didn't watch it as a progression. It's like they thought Kanye woke up as woke up black boy goes to.
He woke it up.
He woke it up.
Hey.
Now woke it up.
Well, see, Act 2 is called Purpose, though.
Oh, okay.
And then Act 3 is called Awakening.
Awakening, which I got some thoughts about that as well.
Awakening.
Yeah, talk
Okay,
about it.
I enjoyed how a lot of like what we think is randomized by Kanye currently was not random.
No, it was strategic the entire
very
time.
strategic.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell people.
It's a source of inspiration for me.
I really do think it was amazing, though, just to go all the way back to the early 2000s. And you have this guy, Cootie.
Shout out Cootie.
Shout out
just
Cootie.
has-
20 years.
Man, just
in
the
making.
wherewithal to just keep recording.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, to actually just see everything come to fruition as he's recording, and it's just like you can't stop here. But
I liked how he narrated it.
Yeah,
I know that Drake. It was rumored for him to be the person to narrate the actual documentary, or maybe part 1 of the documentary, right?
Something like that,
I
right.
thought it was fitting for Cootie to be
only
the
makes
person
sense.
to
Yeah.
narrate,
Yeah.
because
His lane.
he was there from the inception of his musical career, or rapper career, producer career, trying to break through into the rapper industry. And man, it was just beautiful to see like this person that we've been connected to, right? For the past 2 decades,
Yeah.
to see him at that young, not necessarily naive stage, but just motivated and inspiring.
He was hungry.
Level,
Yeah.
hungry.
You know what's so interesting is that like we're giving him
He said inspired.
I'm inspired just from
Absolutely.
a celebrity standpoint, like, you know, building of a celebrity. Like I feel like a lot of times people would like the idea of fame and stuff, and a lot of people, those same people, end up happening into it. I think Kanye planned his fame.
Yeah.
But when he had a conversation with his mother where she was reminding him to stay humble, but also feel smell your own shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Donda, I wish he was around today, because I think he might have flipped those that piece of advice. But like it's super interesting to see how him making sure that camera was rolling. I wish I should have counted how many times he was like, "You watching this?
You got
say
this?"
something for the like."
Yeah.
He that was strategic vision, and we consider him kind of a futurist type of person now, but at the time he was still on some future shit.
Oh, man.
And as a matter of fact, if you didn't live through those years and you're watching that and you're like, "Oh, those clothes look," oh no, them clothes
That
was
was-
actually, that was next level shit in the moment.
But I'm trying to say, nigga, so much. People weren't even on that at the time. Like Holmes was rocking Ralph Lauren, like LV backpacks and Gap hats, and niggas
Yeah,
was rocking
Memphis and-
Avirex jackets
yeah.
and Timberlands.
Yeah.
They wasn't popping.
I think
at the
Memphis
time.
Bleak and Damon Dash had made a slight comment in that part one, saying and making a note about
Both of them
how
did. Dame and Bleak did.
Yeah,
They said
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, yo, this
Like,
dude's fashion forward.
he's on another level.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was the dude from the A&R dude from Raucous.
Oh,
From
yeah,
Raucous.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
see?
was like saying, he was
He
like,
said,
dude, you're
you know
high
how-
fashion,
Yeah.
He's like,
and you
"You're
bring
high
something.
fashion."
Which made me like chuckle, and I was like, no, he is.
He
in this,
was
in this
at the
moment
time.
right
Yeah.
now, on this block where he's
Facts.
at in random ass New York right now.
He is.
There was probably 16 niggas that walked past in Tim's. And
No, that's a fact.
And Kanye's there. I wish I knew exactly
This
what he was
man
wearing.
has the Canada
But
jumpsuit.
when he burst
You know
out,
what I'm saying?
Just
when he
But think
burst
about
out of that apartment complex, holding that Louis duffel, and it's a Chicago nigga.
And there was
Yes.
no
it's
one
always
doing
Chicago
that.
niggas know how to dress, baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
and here
Maybe
he
a
is.
little late now.
check this
but
out. Check this out.
Time, you know?
What really got me is when you actually see Donda. It's like when you see her for the first time, kind of in the documentary. It's like you know she just belongs there, and every moment that they have together, it's just you see the support that she gives him, and it makes you think whether you're a parent or a future parent. You really have to, if you have the resources, if you have enough care and passion, you really got to pour into your child's passion. You really have to invest in it. And I think when you truly go all in on it, assuming there's a balance, with other things that are going on, I mean, you really can inspire your kid to do anything
You
that
sure
they
can.
want to do.
Donda inspires me, like one of the biggest inspirations right now, and how fitting for God to place this documentary in our lives, and especially in my life, me and Sam. Sam had told me when she was watching it, she was like, I'm aspiring to be a mother like her.
Like that, right
to
there.
just put so much and instill so much great, valuable, lifelong lessons through just some of the adages that she said to him, saying
the
like, "You're the
giant.
giant. A giant can't see himself in the mirror."
Yeah.
Like, yo, that was light years ahead of like just my thinking capacity, and I learned so much. And I got emotional at that point, at that moment when they were in her apartment, which was a big apartment.
Yeah, I was going to say her apartment was
Okay.
sickening.
It's like a
especially for
condominium.
2002,
And they're rapping,
something like
and she's
that.
rapping the
And
lyrics.
she knows the
Yeah.
lyrics,
Bro.
G.
lyrics
Exactly.
at his
So,
home, bro.
okay.
It made me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, to add to that, and this is in fact where you were going, I second that. Bro, I'm watching this, and just to give a little context, I'm at the crib. I got a little Basil Hayden poured up, which is a dark rye that's aged in port barrels. I'm sipping that with some
Thanks.
No, seriously. And anytime Donda blessed the screen, bro, I welled up.
Yeah.
And it was like, this woman is so imbued with knowledge and just,
Dude.
I mean, just a beautiful soul. And you just saw a young Ye soaking it up, taking all that game, all that wisdom. He even sought clarity. When she gave him the giant parable, Holmes said, but what you mean?
What do you mean by
am I
that?
being too arrogant? Am I doing too much? He was like, what? You know what I mean? Nah, honey, I think what you're doing is perfect. But don't forget, when the giant looks in the mirror, he doesn't see a giant.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I think that means is blah, 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 blah. Holmes was like right there looking to soak that game
Just
up.
soaking it up.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what's so beautiful in her presence. So to see that taken away from Ye
Yeah.
and to see where he's been, his mom's was a big
part
influence.
of it, yeah.
And have me welled up just watching her wisdom.
And that right there is the reason
You know what I
why
mean?
it's been so easy for me to support him. Like, I see so much of myself in Ye, just because I've been following him from the start.
That's a fact.
This whole
Listen.
this whole part one documentary. If you're a true Kanye fan, or if you're interested, go back and listen to College Dropout. But listen to the last track. It's called the last call. And he's literally kind of giving a brief synopsis of everything that you see in this part one, of like, him walking around with Cootie and walking through literally the Rockefeller Records floor, playing music
Yeah,
for
he
all the
just
different
gave them
A&Rs and
millions of dollars.
right, and they're just paying him no mind and
was
talking to other
like,
people while he's playing. Jesus Walks and
I got a phone
all
call,
falls
baby. You gotta
down.
turn that shit off.
Like literally, the pinnacle tracks that literally
It
made
me
our
think-
lives.
It really, that part, him walking through there, I didn't read that at face value. I was reading that through the lens of being those workers. There, that
Yeah.
day. And
Like I ain't got time to listen to this shit.
I try to take as much as I could from like, okay, so basically what we're trying to say is that they lack the development minded, space that they should have been in, right? If anybody walks, if the whole purpose of this organization is to develop talent, right? That means that everybody from the janitors up to the CEO should be minded like that. And it's so interesting to watch how they were disinterested.
They weren't on that back then.
Right?
Insane.
One of them was bopping her head or whatever, but she looked like she was doing that because she felt sorry that other people be ignoring him when he does that.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, I wonder how I can bring that to myself.
And in the last call,
like how I can bring that. I would hate to be that person,
in that situation.
in the last call, he's literally giving you a visual and verbal tour of this whole entire process. And then he mentions a little bit about his mama, and it was cool that he got some of the people in Rockefeller to do the voiceovers whenever he was talking about certain individuals. Like he talked about the dude from Capitol Records that was like, dude, if you don't want to sign with Rockefeller, man, you can come over here to Capitol Records and I'll put you on.
Homes from Rockers who really wanted him.
Right. It was great to see Rhymefest and Torre and Talib Kweli, Black Star,
Just
Mos Def.
Blaze, No ID, all them boys.
Exactly.
Well, Beyonce popped up in there.
Doug
Scarface
Infinite.
is in-
to
everybody in
loop
there.
black history into all that. Who do you think was telling these people that they didn't have the time for Kanye?
The people he was looking up to.
No.
Wait.
So all the
Ask
people
the question again?
that was like begging for Kanye, like the guy from Capitol, like the guy from
Yeah.
Rockers.
They said it, the executives.
Right, and guess who? The executives over the executives.
yeah.
What
They passed on him.
what race was they?
Well,
I'm trying to bring y'all back here, right?
Come on.
Because Kanye ain't get deep into no black shit until
that's
he
a
did that
fact.
first interview when he had opportunity to like dump all that out. He let all that out. He
You hear
felt
it first, right?
And it's so
Yeah.
it's like strange how we I mean, he's done some things that would be regressive to black people in the recent years. But back then, we're looking at how radical he is. He had the gumption to understand that these people are not paying attention to me because they don't want to pay attention to me.
Yeah.
They answer
They're
to a white
powers
man.
that be.
They answer
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
powers
yeah,
that be,
yeah.
and that has bothered Kanye from the chorus at the beginning, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
that's a big piece to take away from this.
And that
Fam.
ignorance like trickles down to the others, and they just follow suit, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be your own people that like do it, and you can't hold it against the whole entire race, right?
Talking about, like
Doug Infinite, right? He was literally talking to him
That's
earlier in the
crazy.
document. It's so crazy
Snake,
how they
bro.
were in the food court, and he was like, "Yeah, man, hey, it's nothing but business and love, man. That's what it's all about." And then literally later on that evening, he gets on live radio and just disses Kanye and saying, "Yeah, I made this diss track and it's aimed towards Kanye West."
But they told him that it was going to happen, though. That's the thing that's so crazy about this doc. It's so eerie, but not really.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
obvious, but
hella
it's so
foreshadowing,
eerie because
yeah.
it's like, bro, Kanye has a quote. He goes, I might be living your American dream, but I'm nowhere near
what-
what my
yeah,
dream
yeah,
is.
yeah.
You know, I got aspirations.
Bars.
Yeah, this nigga talking about...
And he's driving in
I'm
that
trying to get to the
Mercedes-Benz
point to
ML.
where
Time, that's
I'm
a
trying to get
fact.
to the point to where I can drop my last name from my name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like
And Jermaine.
It's and it's like you seeing this guy saying this stuff like so definitively, so confidently,
It's almost like he knew.
like when you think you know, he knows he knows.
He knew he knew.
Yeah.
And this guy has
Strong
an album
knowledge
called
itself.
Yay. You know, it's like again fruition. It's obvious, but at the same time, it's so eerie to see how when you can just manifest and it's this mantra and you say it over and over and over again, and you have the support from your parents or a parent.
Yeah.
And your best friend Cootie, man.
Man.
Oh my
Pouring
gosh.
into you.
I want to bring it back to Cootie because I love that he got his like little 5 minutes of fame about bringing it a little bit, and it was done so it was executed so well.
So in the beginning?
No, towards the end, like where he was like, "Yeah, now let me go ahead and share my story."
Oh, yeah.
Like how the reason why I decided to step away from my comedic
Why would you
career.
do this?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just pick up a
Why would you
camera and
drop
keep going.
everything?
And he brought it back to his father being a cameraman, and then how when his father brought home a camcorder, that inspired him, and he was like, I turned out to do what I was born to do all along, right? And then it showed a class picture of him from
holding a
holding a camcorder, man, and it was beautiful. Like for him to drop everything to not only just move to New York and follow Kanye, but to stay with him. I mean, take this back. Think back to 2001 to 2002, bro. That was practically damn near still the 90s, where you had maybe $22 in your pocket. Shit, maybe $2 in your pocket.
$22 could get you a long way.
A long way back then, right?
While you playing.
I also, but you know, here's the thing. I think we do need to look a little deeper, like more at the details. And this is why I brought up what he was wearing. I brought up what he was driving and stuff, because this story really starts when he had money.
Facts.
Yes,
he already
true.
had money.
He already had money. So,
he was already
so
successful.
Like, of course, I'm passionate about being cameraman and following Kanye West around, but Kanye is also paying for this.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
be clear.
In fact, his single Through the Wire that wound up getting him on the map, that wound up convincing Rockefeller to finally finance this project. He spent his own $30,000 on that project. I mean, on that production. So it's like, you're right. Let's not forget that. But one thing I got to add to kind of punctuate the points is that, to see all of this come to fruition, not just Cootie, not just Kanye, you named all these people who were involved in this man's journey, who also were successful and GOATs in their own right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who he touched, whose mics touched him, and who he touched there on his journey up. What's so beautiful for me in watching this project was like, to see this man's foresight, to see Cootie's foresight, to see for Kanye to see in himself what he saw, to undeniably and unapologetically believe in himself is inspiring. It's like, you don't have to give a damn about what people think about you.
Right.
If you know you're great, that's good enough. And this man manifested his greatness. It is now undeniable that he is one of the GOATs when it comes to hip hop.
Yep.
You cannot deny it. Now, his political ideologies and his family, whatever, you can debate that shit, but his musical prowess is undeniable at this point, right?
Right.
He manifested that, and you watch it from the very beginning, like his inception. Homie was rapping at the age of 8,
Yeah.
Oh man, that moment where him and Mos Def
You know what I'm saying?
were rapping and behind the stage.
Oh my God! I'm gonna go back and watch. I rarely go back and watch
Chill.
stuff.
Yo.
I'm gonna go back and watch
I'm not
that.
done with my verse yet. Put the
chills,
camera
bro.
back on me.
Oh my
Gave me
gosh!
chills.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
he took the command he takes.
Facts.
Again, just like
Facts.
knowing he knows.
Took the retainers out of his mouth and he just
Them
was
retainers
spitting.
had me dying.
Mos Def, yeah.
That actually humbled him
Scarface.
a lot. I think it's interesting that they made sure that those parts were put in that section.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is foreshadowing to his mouth
Through the
issues
wire
after
shit,
the yeah.
yeah.
But like I think he's used to being, like his ground zero is humble.
Yeah.
And I think no, like the way that they present that happening, his ground
Right.
zero is
Well, I see
humble.
what
Like,
you're saying, yeah.
when he's playing the tracks
He got fronted on a lot.
Scarface,
Yeah.
and he takes it out his mouth, and Scarface goes, "Ugh, you done had that shit all up in your mouth."
Yeah.
He's like they're retainers.
Yeah.
Like this is I'm presenting myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I'm a good
At his
musician. That's why
rawest.
we're in this room.
And he wasn't like during this phase, and we can only judge based off of what we see on the camera, right? But he, to me, like he was humbled throughout that whole experience because he had no choice but to, right? Aside from the fact of what Donda, his mother, taught him, the fact that he went through all of that rejection and all those people bypassing him and overlooking him, clearly, like, just incredible talent, literally right there in their face. At one point we saw Beyonce and like in the hallway with him.
Beyonce actually looked a little impressed.
Yeah, right. She saw it, right? Shout out to
that just goes back to that. Again, I think everything was so intentional with this doc. Just the moments they chose to put in there when they showed that quote that she gave him about looking in the mirror and not seeing the giant. And you just see him kind of gazing at her and just smiling. Bro, that was it. That was all he needed. It didn't matter even till today how we look at him and what we think about him.
Yeah.
Kanye ain't thinking about
He
that.
don't
Bro.
give two damns about that.
Kanye, we see him as the giant. We see him as the GOAT. We see him as the genius.
And therefore his actions don't make sense to a lot of us.
Kanye's his mother's son, bro. It's always what
It all makes sense to me because like
he speaks
and I don't care like if y'all call me the Kanye stan and whatnot. I don't vouch for the buffoonery and stuff that he's doing, but you got to think about maybe this is all part of the strategic grand scheme of things, right? Everything that he's putting out there. I mean, you got to think about Jay-Z when he joined the NFL board.
Brian Mitchell and
you know what I mean? During the whole George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery killings, everybody was like, Jay-Z, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Why would you join the white man's organization? We're trying to boycott them. We're trying to boycott that. Not during the killings. It was, I think, during Colin Kaepernick's protest, right?
And they were like, with them, and
right?
He goes and buys and invests into the situation.
Yeah, but now years later, we see the greatest halftime show. To date, right?
Yeah.
And he was the forerunner of that. And
even more so than that, I think he saw it as him having a hand in changing some shit that was otherwise
the first time that hip hop has hosted.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
The halftime show, and this is only the beginning. Look, and I'm saying this right now, live on record for the Potnas podcast. Yo, this is just the first hip hop performance of many that will come for Super Bowl because hip hop is the root of music nowadays. This is just the West Coast side of like the West Coast influence of hip hop. Wait until the South
win in the South or something,
and wait until the East Coast. So the East Coast, you got Diddy, Faith Evans, the Locks,
Bad Boy could do it.
French Montana, all of them, right? And then think about what the South looks like. Oh my gosh, me and Dino were having a conversation about this. Ludacris, Bow Wow, Usher, Jermaine Dupri. Oh my gosh! Imagine what that Atlanta show would look like. Atlanta hip hop halftime show. It doesn't fucking matter who's performing. Everybody's gonna tune in for the halftime show. The halftime show is the biggest platform.
I've skipped over some halftime shows.
That's a fact.
So.
No.
Yeah, them white people gonna watch.
But
that's the point. You got to have universal.
Now they're gonna watch. Now they're gonna watch.
You think so?
Because nobody was fucking with all them other country artists and rock performers and whatnot. People took notice when The Weeknd did a solo act.
Tizzle, we talked about this now, and I got it.
No, but that was the spark.
No, but I gotta say this: when it comes to this whole Super Bowl shit, right? I do think things are cyclical. I do think there's balance. I do think there's equilibrium to life. You got to have balance.
They're gonna bring Ariana Grande next year.
There's been a lot of niggas in this, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had hip hop acts. We had Beyonce, Bruno.
And then they're gonna make sure there's a
Maroon
splash.
5 and Travis Scott.
They didn't have like a Billie Eilish around this mug next time. They need to balance this out a little bit. I promise you, it's not gonna be.
When you're playing, they're gonna hit you with the Post Malone next year while y'all playing.
Oh my gosh! Please no.
And he has it before White Iverson.
You see what I'm saying?
That's when I met him.
To put a bow on the Kanye thing, and I just want to, and I don't want to seem arrogant or egotistical about this, but I want to bring this to us, right? I saw a lot of myself and a lot of what we're doing right now.
Oh yeah,
in this documentary and in Kanye. I think that's why we're so tied and why we have so much to say about Kanye. Both like good and negative feedback and just critical. Input. We're critical because he's a part of all of us, right? And that gumption that we see, if anything, this part one of the documentary told us to just be patient and to go for it, right? And we saw that through Kanye, through Cootie, and especially Donda, right? To just stick with what you love and work towards your craft. And I noticed that I just touched my Jesus piece when I did that, but I saw a lot of myself in Kanye and I got emotional. I definitely cried, but not because like I'm a Kanye stan, but because of what those moments did to me. Yeah. Like, and I like, you know, the curly hair that you see, you know, him had or whatever. I was like, shit, that's me, man. And representation fucking matters, dog. And not only that, but with this podcast, right? Like y'all seen like my whole like career. Since we all have met, whatever, with the I Got Soul shit or whatever. Remember I was pitching that fucking idea in college, and that was before it all came through. And I had fucking five people.
I see what you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
I went through that. Like 5 people showed up to my
Tizzle
first.
did have a lot of forethought and foresight in even what he's doing and how even what he's doing in early conversation we had led up to this moment. I would say, even in fact. One quick thing I want to point out, and this is random. When you mentioned you said Jesus piece, your cross on your chest. It wasn't it ill how much she loved the angel piece that he had.
Dog.
How much adoration
Kanye,
she had for that piece, and how his good music logo. I'm a brand nerd. Was
I like
that
this one,
angel.
Kanye.
It's that angel,
It's
right?
that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just him and his mother's relationship. That you said you saw yourself in some parts.
Absolutely.
That's where that part.
Me too.
That's why I
every time
cried.
he met up with his mother was like, oh, that's my relationship.
When they were on the stoop of their house that they grew up in, I bawled out because, like, man, that's my relationship with my mother, man. Like, and dog, oh my gosh. And then how fitting, my mother called me as soon as the documentary ended. Yeah. And I just bawled out, and I was just like, Mother, I love you. And she was so happy to call me, man. Like, dog, it was, oh fuck, I'm getting emotional right now.
Happy.
And I just told her, I love you. Thank you for always believing in you. Thank you for always being my biggest cheerleader.
Such a long way.
Dog, man.
Just
Not
pushing.
even blowing up smoke.
Yeah.
But she just truly believed in me. And I hope that our listeners, I hope that you have somebody like your mother or somebody that just believes in you. Keep going, get into your craft and dedicate that time and energy into that. Even if you got to fucking stay up late after work or whatever, just do it. Exhaust yourself. Push yourself to the point of exhaustion. Abu Mulugeta, there's a special that's coming out on that he joined the podcast and he talked about it a little bit.
Shout out Abu.
We had a conversation and the first thing he asked me was how was I doing? I told him, and then I asked him the same question. He was like, dude, I'm exhausted, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm fulfilling my purpose. And so just that's the message I want to drive home is fulfilling your purpose. This podcast, TJ, remember when I brought this idea up 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And now it's happening. We had lights, camera, action. We had people joining the team.
There you go, Miss Jackson.
We got like the furniture. All of this was planned and just an idea 4 years ago.
A wise man told me, bro, that you only need one person to believe in you, bro.
That's a fact.
That's yourself.
Yes, and
It can be. It can be.
I just want to take this moment to thank y'all, man. Thank you for believing in this process. Believing in me, believing in yourselves, and then just dedicating the time and energy and effort into what we're producing and providing to the people.
And most importantly, shout out all of y'all who are listening to us right now.
Yes.
For real, bro.
Yes.
We do this
Hey, if
for
you
y'all.
got a vision right now, tap in. Just keep tapping in, bro.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Like, keep the vision, keep the grind, man.
I think that's how I think that's all we need to talk about with news.
I think we,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do know that y'all watch Atlanta.
Yes. It's coming back.
Atlanta
Finally.
is coming back for season 3 and season 4. They've already been shot.
Oh, yeah, they had to have. It's been 4 fucking years since
Donald been, but
singing and shit.
Shout out Gambino.
Shout out Gambino. There is news though that Atlanta will be ending with season 4.
This is the last season.
So
No fucking way.
yeah.
That's very. I wonder if that has anything to do with HBO's contract that they do. I know it's on FX, but
Yeah.
like,
No,
I wonder
so-
if HBO has anything to do with. There's been like this 4-season thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
That
interviewed
everybody's been
Donald.
having?
Donald did say that he wanted to end it after season 2,
After
half jokingly.
Oh, okay.
So, and I heard that back then too, but
Yeah, and Insecure, they ended, but now they're coming out with a new show called Confident. Because people were literally like, there's no way that Insecure can end after 5 seasons. Like this, they're at their peak. And then she's like, gotcha. I got a whole new show called Confident that literally picks up where we left off. And maybe that's what Donald Glover is doing.
No,
Hopefully. I hope so. Because I love me some Paperboy.
Charlotte.
hey,
Paperboy. Yeah.
They moved cities. Houston. That would roll.
That would actually be really tight.
If you do that,
That's really tight, actually.
I'm a great.
Cooler than
just
cooler than
please,
cooler than
just,
cooler.
I will take.
I
do a
actually
podcast to be
am
on
writing
this.
that.
You're writing a Houston version of
Of
Atlanta.
Atlanta, starring
A movie, actually.
Oh, movie.
Stay tuned.
I love
season
acting.
3 does
Sign
come
me up.
out March 24th.
Yes.
Okay.
Season 3 of
Oh,
Atlanta.
everything, all good things happen in March.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff is coming
Keiko
out,
will be
man.
born,
Pisces
and
season, baby.
I got 4 months of PTO off.
This guy.
Same,
This is some new
Dog,
shit. That's
I'm
some
about
new
to
age
catch up
2022 shit
and
right
watch
there.
all this binge. No, I'm fortunate. Like,
You got 4 months. That's crazy. That's
well, because I'm considered the primary
It's that
care
new-
provider.
it's new
'Cause-
age paternity leave. This
well,
is
because like I had mentioned this earlier in the season, but teachers get fucked over because they get 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They only get 6 weeks, and they get no paid time off.
not all teachers get no pay
What?
though. Some teachers, I mean,
Some people get. Some
I think
you
it's
can
different.
get paid, 'cause
I think
if
in the
you-
first.
if you recruit the PTO, well, so teachers get like, well, yeah, it's shitty.
I don't know.
Well, how does
It's
they
a conversation.
determine? How do they determine
About
about primary? First of all, both parents should be primary anyway. Bitch, what? How dare them tell me
what
that
you
I have to pick one?
That's what you have to declare in order to get that
I
benefit.
know, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
It's game in the
Why
system.
should I have to declare that
Oh, I see
I'm
what
primary
you're
when
saying.
I'm having a
Bro,
fucking child?
there's
It
so
doesn't-
much shitty
It
shit.
does not matter.
In order to get Medicaid as a mom, you have to say there's no man around. So your daddy got to get
Yeah.
out the house.
It's kind of
That's
fucked up, man.
wild.
Yeah, it's all
Right,
fucked up.
but I had to declare. I had to go through all
Okay,
this
I'm
whole
glad you
process.
gave that.
Yeah.
wonderful.
I had
That's
to like
wonderful.
provide a letter from her school district. Like, yep, like Sam is literally under the under the Family Care Act, right, where she's only going to get 6 weeks unpaid, non-paid leave. So. And that was justification for me to get the primary
Facts.
care, and then I got approval from my director.
Game the system.
Beautiful.
So, yep. But I got to go
Glad
through
about
hell before I get to that point. Anyways, all right. Is that it for news?
I mean, I don't know if y'all heard about Sha'Carri and that whole
Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri
Richardson and
And
I mess it up every
Sha'Carri, she
time.
corrected in her first interview. She corrected that man, Sha'Carri.
It's Sha'Carri.
Oh, it is
see-
Sha'Carri.
See?
Yeah.
See?
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So what's going on with her?
She's actually calling out the Olympics and the anti-doping officials. There was a Russian skater, Camilla. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. Valieva. She was allowed to compete despite testing positive for a
Xanax.
banned drug. I believe she was 15 years old.
She a role
Are you? Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. What drug? Like, was it a steroid or was it? Don't tell me it was fucking weed.
Xanax.
I can't. Let me see.
So she tested positive for using a substance, and she's fucking 15 years old.
Xanax.
Well, they do things different in Russia, huh?
That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's probably drinking vodka before she goes.
No, listen. Literally,
me to a horse school.
Todd, she was an assassin. Actually, her name was Black Widow.
Yeah.
No, I did some research on
There's
this.
a movie. Let's go ahead.
There is actually one.
Yep.
It's called Red Sparrow, and she
Yes.
tries to kill
That's where I
people.
get that line from.
I figured.
You sent me to a horse school.
No, it killed you.
I love the Russian accent, bro.
it's
It is
so
so
bad.
Just to
fucking
give
funny.
y'all some clinical knowledge, she actually, the 15-year-old actually tested positive for a drug called trimethazine.
Oh, okay.
Trimethazine is actually a drug prescribed for patients with angina, so it's like chest pain.
Muscle relaxer.
It's sort of like heart. Well, it's not a muscle relaxer.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you what it is.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Don't he know
Forgive me.
best?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
But
Yeah.
it can typically be prescribed for angina, which is chest pain, or like any heart related condition. So I mean, I guess it just popped up on the list, but Sha'Carri had a big issue with it because she's like, "Hey, if y'all are telling me I can't compete because of some drug that's on the list that can't be, in your system, then why can't the 15-year-old be
can't
held
she?
accountable in the
Yeah.
same way?"
You know what's shitty about that situation? And some research that I've done is that, and it is shitty. I mean, this anti-doping agency is an international. It's like a global body, right?
Right.
What's shitty is that they only have so much jurisdiction. The Russian anti-doping agency, whatever their Olympic, body
ROC,
is,
the Russian
they
Olympic
said you're good
Committee.
to go, and then
Yeah.
the IOC, whatever it's called,
International Olympic Committee.
then they looked at it and gave her gave the pass. But the thing is, Sha'Carri apparently didn't pass the U.S. I don't remember what it is, but like the U.S. anti-doping agency. It may be USAD.
Oh.
And so they fucked her over.
Oh, okay.
You know what? They didn't
So she
even-
didn't have a chance because normally the IOC will follow suit with whatever the
So
your
she may
regional
have been okay.
country.
Had the U.S. not screwed her over is what I found out.
Yeah.
So I mean, shitty either way.
Yeah. So
Right.
Sha'Carri needs to go run in Russia.
Oh, so was that their rebuttal then? Like, hey, we would have approved your shit if the U.S. would have approved it from the jump.
I was in week
So
something.
that has nothing to do with us,
Right.
And that was a different situation. We handle circumstances accordingly whenever it comes. Man, that's a tough.
Yeah.
Of course,
That's
a
a tough
lot of people
situation.
tried to make it a race thing.
Of course.
Some
I mean,
people-
and quite naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Some people tried to justify it based off the age. You know, oh, she's 15. She didn't really know any better. She didn't have the capacity to
wild
make
to me.
that.
I don't give a fuck.
I have
These
friends who've been
15.
smoking since 11 years
Come
old.
on now. These are some These are some of the most like educated teenagers like on
have y'all watched Euphoria?
in history.
Okay.
Hey, all I gotta say is whether you educated or not, like they said with Sha'Carri, rules are rules.
Man, fuck that.
So if you're
I
trying
still
to compete,
stand in solidarity with my sister, bro.
Oh, of course, but
if I'm just saying, if there's a list of drugs, if there's a list, there's a list.
the little Ogoxley of Russia.
Well, I mean, if we're thinking about why there's a list of drugs, the idea is that it
And why
makes you,
marijuana's
it
on
makes
that
you
list.
It right.
You know what I
And
mean?
so, well, the thing is, it's a list made because it's supposed to make it an unfair advantage for the person who takes those
Facts.
drugs.
Yeah.
Weed is a D enhancing.
It's really helping you guys.
Right. I'm actually helping y'all.
Well, at least this Camilla chick or whatever the fuck her name is, at least her country believes in her and stands in solidarity with her. But you know, our country is fucked up and don't believe in black people. So
I heard
you know.
Camila chick. I heard she's about to invade Ukraine right now. Is that
Really?
true?
Ah, okay, we're leaving this.
Okay, well, speaking of our country just being so messed up and stuff,
I heard we.
Oh no! What else?
Damn it.
I don't know if anybody, you know, and I guess I gotta say her name, but Kim Potter, former police officer, man, you know, she was sentenced Friday
This is so sick, bro.
to 2 years in prison for fatally shooting Dante Wright. Rest in peace, Dante Wright.
That's it.
Crazy.
Wait, so she got a reduced
2
sentence?
years.
I think they were shooting for about 86 months, the prosecutors, but she only ended up getting 2 years in prison.
Dog,
So
I'm so sick of this
That's
shit.
crazy.
yeah,
Like,
And she not gonna.
how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about
2 months?
like? Does this change your perception of white people, like, and your white
this
friends
is
and
not-
colleagues?
It really can't get much worse.
it's for me. It's beyond.
I mean,
just
I'm
the
not
people.
surprised by this.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was about to say.
I won't say much worse. Sorry, I like some white people.
It's not just a white people thing. This is, bro. I mean, they're products of but like it's a bigger thing. This is institutionalized. The system. There's a reason she only got 2 years, bro.
Right.
That's how it was written. This is how it's supposed to be a white woman who's supposed to be.
Right.
Come on, who's a former cop? She's not serving much jail time.
Yeah,
She's protected by the system.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that. Well, let me
Are
not
you
start talking about
surprised
cops
anymore?
because they make black ones, and
you
then
know, it would be
they play
interesting if there was some kind of. I know we have all this first degree, second degree manslaughter, all this different type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't it be interesting if they had a minimum of amount of years for a mistake versus
shit. Yeah.
something that was intentional?
Well, I mean, that's what the current law is supposed to.
Well, but
Yeah.
true,
Supposed to
but
delineate.
that's still
Manslaughter versus
Minimum
murder.
sentences is in fact what it's called, and they have it's either
Wait, that-
involuntary or voluntary.
That's
Right.
That's what manslaughter is
But if we
for,
actually-
versus murder.
yeah.
True, but if they actually just met that minimum though, instead of tinkering with it all the time,
Right.
Yeah.
it's like we're always
Gaming
tinkering
the
with the
system.
time. You
Well,
know,
this
like,
one was a public servant in which she probably persecuted a lot more.
They always got an
people.
exception.
Well, just 2 years.
Speaking of exception, fucking, y'all saw that video in New Jersey, those teenagers, that black teenager and that white teenager. White teenager clearly started the fight. Black teenager was giving him the business. And then the cops came, or whatever, and they were in the mall, by the way.
Yeah.
Cops came and charged up the black
Where were they? Do
child.
you remember where they were?
What city it was?
New Jersey.
Sorry.
Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what specific city.
That's good
and
enough.
it's kind of crazy because we moved to Houston from New Jersey.
From Jersey.
That's
Jersey
a-
is a small. It's a small.
It's a filthy state.
anyway, yeah.
It's a filthy state. Fuck New Jersey. Wow. Best education system in America, but fuck that state, dog. There's nothing there but just they have
People who don't want to pay rent in New York.
oh my gosh. I've been still trying to get my taxes back from New Jersey, and yes, nigga, bro, they owe me money.
I don't know what that's like.
And they have jug handles on their roads.
And they keep building Wawas.
I don't know
Yes.
what that's like.
Jug handles meaning that like if you miss an
Wawa's
exit,
fun.
if you miss an exit in New Jersey, nigga, you just added 36 minutes to your drive. It's not like you can take the next exit. No,
One of my coworkers actually
it's the worst.
stays in New Jersey, and she talks about her drive to work. Her 4 different
I just got the
stores.
chills. That's triggering.
But yeah, I heard the traffic's really bad and the roads and things. I'm like, who would want to
Yeah,
live
but would
there?
you rather do New Jersey or New York? I mean,
New York.
okay, well, yeah.
Every single time because I
love
had
New York.
such
I love
a
New
shitty. It was a humbling experience, but it was a shitty one at the same time. We lived in New Jersey for 2 years. My first year in New Jersey, made the worst decision of my life by listening to my fucking white friends and moving on base. And that was the worst decision of my life, man. I never felt like I was in the movie Get Out for the whole entire year.
Wow.
They played fucking Reveille and Retreat every morning. Now, of course, that's a given being on a military installation.
Yeah.
But
fam.
bro, white picket fences all over the perimeter. You had to go through one entrance to get into the neighborhood. Wait a minute. Bro, and D knows because he came and visited us.
It was terrifying.
It was, bro. Have you ever seen The Giver?
Yeah,
You ever seen The Giver? Bro, it's like literally like waking up every morning and it's the same routine. You got the one white guy watering his grass.
No, fam, no bullshit.
And then
I
you see the
visited
people
him.
like
Me, Jen, and Joe
robotic.
stayed with them for like I don't know. What, a
Oh
week
my
or some
gosh.
shit. It was. He said, "Get out." Yo, that's how I would like it.
People who
too.
live on post are.
But no, but the most terrifying thing was this. Every day, I guess it was the evening thing or morning thing. I don't remember. It was like. I don't know if it was the what do you call it, the American the anthem. I don't remember what the fuck it was. Like so creepy, bro. Listen, people would be sitting.
They call it taps.
People would be taps. People would be standing at the edge of their lawn like this,
Yes.
crying and shit.
Everything just stops when the songs come out because you're
All the
paying
kids are
respect
playing.
to
They
the
just stop, drop the ball, and just
yeah.
Patriotism is a slur, huh?
It was terrifying. I don't know. All I know is I love my country, but that was some next level shit.
Dog. So that was
I don't know what JT talking about because they said salute this nigga when we would walk.
well because I'm an officer. They had to.
Yeah, quick,
Yeah,
fast.
I'm like,
and you
oh,
goddamn right. You better
alright,
salute Captain
Tizzle.
Thomas.
All right, Tizzle.
I was somebody in New Jersey, but that was the first year, and we hated it so much that we had to move to Philly. The second
Hey,
year,
you finna make me move to Philly.
dog. Philly is one of the best jazz
I'm finna move to New
states.
York,
Dog.
New Jersey, all
Yeah.
of that. Let's
You
go
think
East
so?
Coast.
Yeah, man.
Let's take
I'll
it.
I enjoyed my time. Those were the two main reasons why I enjoyed my time in the East Coast was Philly and New York, the tri-state area, the true tri-state area.
Yeah.
Because it's not the DMV. It's
Right.
it's New York, Philly, and New Jersey.
Okay.
That's the true tri-state. New
What's that
Jersey's
song
the
when Nicki Minaj
worst.
do all
Fucking.
the, It's New York, Connecticut, got Delaware, got what's that Nicki verse?
I'm not necessarily a Nicki fan.
Sorry.
I respect her craft, but I'm not a fan of her music.
I'm not gonna let the barbs come from me. So
Right.
I'm gonna try that.
I tried my hardest.
She is
to-
coming back, you know.
You're on your own there, homie.
Yeah. No, man, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Hopefully that black brother gets some justice served in his way. Hopefully he doesn't go to jail or get reprimanded.
Hope he haunts
and what. Man, it's mortifying and it's just demoralizing constantly seeing black and brown people getting these injustices served our way for just being us.
We actually went on and said we didn't even say the worst part about the video of the
The little boy in the mall.
Walk us through it, Bradley.
So the black kid gets he's getting handcuffed with two knees in his back.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, the second knee that came to his back,
The lady cop?
watched the white boy put his hands together to be cuffed,
And
she's consulting
and
him.
rub his head.
Oh, it's okay, but honey, hold on. Let me go put my knee in this
It's
boy's
okay.
back real quick.
You relax.
It was so bad.
These white people be holding each other down, and that's why my perception of them has changed. Like I'm not like I don't want to. I'm not immediate or quick to shake your hand anymore. Like, I mean, well, given COVID, I love the fact. That's the one thing I love about COVID is that it gives me an excuse to not shake your hand.
Wow.
But
That's crazy that it takes a whole pandemic for us to do what the fuck we want to do.
I know,
that's crazy.
bro. Oh my gosh.
Like stop blowing in birthday cakes.
Right.
But with all of this injustice, it just makes me look at our people even more, and I just like, look, I know I don't give a shit of all the wrong that has happened in your past. I like I'm here for you. I understand the struggle, and like I'm there. Not saying that I stand with R. Kelly or any shit like that, or whatever. But just like the fact, I'm like, dang man, like I know the struggle is real, right? Just us being us. We can't even walk through a fucking neighborhood or go into a store in the mall without being followed or ridiculed.
Or walk home with a Arizona tea and a pack of Skittles.
George Zimmerman had the fucking audacity to sue Trayvon Martin's family for something
they got that thrown out.
Yeah.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
The audacity, though. These motherfuckers think they can. Joe Rogan.
Can't say cock. Oh, here we go with that again.
I mean, somebody can
Say it. Just, I didn't know I was supposed to not say that word.
Couldn't say nigga.
Nigga, you knew. You knew. What you mean you didn't know?
Nigga, you knew.
And someone, and someone who's still and someone who's been serving for years can pull out a Glock and yell taser, taser, taser.
Yeah.
Take your life. And still get
You talking about
2
the
or less years.
white boy, right? That was wait, hold on.
Dante, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
It's a lot going on.
She's not gonna serve 2 years. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's so many injustices that I got that confused. I was thinking about the dude that got off
That's
in
That's what's sad.
in Minneapolis or wherever that was,
Well,
right?
we did have some wins from some documented racial slurs ahead of time.
What's that?
Oh, the Ahmaud Arbery's killers, right?
Yeah. That's a fact.
No, I'm gonna quote the term. Or were you about to?
Go ahead and quote it. Yes, please.
Zero niggers work for men.
Niggers.
They ruin everything. That's why I love what I do now. Not a nigger in sight.
Wow.
It's wild.
There we have it, folks. So yes,
Fam.
a smoking gun does indicate a bullet came out the bitch.
Quite
Right?
literally.
Joe Rogan.
Shots. Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So when we
Planet
hear
A.
Planet of the Apes
Nigger
shit,
babies.
of course we think you racist that you have the propensity to say nigger.
But
'cause
peep this, B.
the shit be happening before that.
But peep this. I'm disappointed in Joe, and I'm like, dude, you know better, or you should know better. But my biggest gripe is with the black comedians. Dave Chappelle, Donnell Rollins. I'm like, hey, y'all friends with the motherfucker?
Oh,
go and check him. I don't give a shit if he's a comedian. He's one of y'all's brothers, right? He's like, oh, but I'm a friend of the motherfucking Jay Prince defended this motherfucker.
those are specifically when it comes to Dave Chappelle, is a comedian who does not have. He understands black plight. He understands he has a thorough understanding of how people can feel offended and does not care because he prefer to do his job at the maximum. And
I understand he's already done a lot for us,
so
right?
Of course, he's not going to because he because he already has a past. Could you imagine your friend getting away with murder?
Yeah,
and then you murder somebody, you're about to get caught, and they're like.
But what about him?
Hey, buddy, you can't be murdering people.
That's not what we do out here.
We can't be murdering people.
He just got uncanceled.
Yeah.
So you're saying that right now in the light that he is, he can't afford to be in the light and trying to
it's
associate
like the pot calling the
himself.
kettle black. Of course, he's not going to help his friend because he's just as audacious.
No, he has been helping him by like. And I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes or whatever. Like, give him that.
His silence is saying a lot, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yes, because like,
but how cool are they really though? How cool is Chappelle and Rogan?
the motherfuckers was on his show.
Oh,
and I don't know about Dave Chappelle, but Donnell Rollins,
yes. A lot of
yes.
people on his show. Well, I mean, but I see.
I've been
you're
on the
saying,
Joe Rogan show. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right.
I think
yes, they went on tour together. Thank you.
Okay, I know all that.
Wow.
All right,
exposure knows best.
Look,
Ashley Larry.
let's move on to speaking of black skin, right? Hey, me and D were having this conversation. We're leaving news, by the way. Me and D were having a heated but healthy debate about skin tones. Not colorism, but skin tones.
The same thing.
Not the same thing.
Honestly, okay, hold on. Not
we talked
I just
about
want to
that.
say this.
We'll have a light conversation about this.
The reason we're bringing this up is because I told Tiz, I was like, yo, what you say, I don't even know. I don't subscribe to that. Let's let the people tell us. So we're only getting this to get y'all's feedback. So truly, we require y'all's engagement.
We
right?
have to get engagement.
We have to hear from y'all.
Have to hear from y'all.
And honestly, I'm sorry. This is for particular people who have some context, some background on this particular topic. What that topic is the classification and the I guess the nomenclature around our skin tones, us as a people. How do we refer to each other in certain shades and hues of melanin? Tizzle, you may continue.
It started with bright skin versus light skin. And I told him, I was like, no, you're using that wrong because
Try to tell me.
with bright skin, that's
Black History
that's a whole half of a section of the
So he has his-
skin tone
he has his
spectrum.
whole the spectrum.
So here's
Explain
my
the
theory.
spectrum.
And just as a disclaimer, we're not talking about colorism,
Right.
prejudice.
No.
You know, discrimination. We're talking about skin tones,
Descriptive.
identifying.
Specifically to the black community.
okay.
This has nothing to do with Mexicans, Asians, Indians, or white people. So stay the fuck out of it. We're talking about black people and skin tones.
Okay. So there's more people than that. But
Your
yes.
spectrum-
So this is not about discriminating on skin
So
tone.
you-
It's about
Mr. Vice
identifying.
President speaking.
by
Yes,
skin-
actually.
skin tone.
So you have this spectrum.
Yeah, so I got a spectrum, all
Explain
right?
the spectrum.
So he was saying, like, light skin and bright skin are the same thing. And I was like, yes and no. My spectrum is on one side, you have bright skin.
Picture this.
And then on the other side, you have dark skin. Now, within each of those components, those two halves of the spectrum, right, of black skin tone.
Binary.
You have right binary,
like
right?
that binary
I know you don't like binary topics, but within bright skin, the bright skin section, you have subcategories of light skin, yellow bone, red bone, etc. Right? Peanut butter, and then on dark skin, on the dark skin spectrum, you got milk chocolate, you got dark chocolate, you have. And this isn't a negative term, but charcoal or crisp.
Okay.
That is a little negative, though.
no, because charcoal is a color.
It's a color.
It's a color.
It's a medium. In fact, it's a.
Everything else was equated. Everything else was
all right.
Texture.
You just said, wait, hold on now.
It's
I got. You said crisp.
crisp. No, okay, all right. Look. Let's not make this negative. Let's not make this negative.
So you have
I'm not saying that they're
Okay.
similar because
Words matter.
these same terms get used as
Okay, so
catalysts for
I
color.
just want to make sure you're being
Yeah.
clear for our audience. So we have
Blue, black.
You have dark chocolate,
Yes,
and then you said what other?
I said charcoal and crisp.
Okay, so let's take crisp. Let's take crisp out because
Okay, we'll take it out.
I gotta take my
Yeah.
glasses
Okay,
off.
so we have charcoal, we have dark chocolate, and then there was
We'll let dark chocolate or deep chocolate be the very end of the spectrum.
Okay, so dark
Okay.
chocolate will be the end of the dark
yes,
skin
yes,
In his
yes.
spectrum. In his spectrum.
in your spectrum.
Right,
Okay.
right,
Okay.
right. Because I don't think I've actually heard anything besides charcoal being darker than dark chocolate.
I have.
What's the term?
Okay, so. Well, I want you to finish.
I was gonna say blue black because that's a common one. Blue black.
All right.
I want you to finish your spectrum. Because
Well, that was basically
I
it.
gotta
It's like
walk you through the whole
it's two halves of the black skin tone spectrum. You got bright skin on the left, and then you got dark skin on the right. And then within the checkpoints of those halves is you got light skin being the very far left of
Okay.
the bright skin
Yes, of your spectrum
section.
Yes.
And then you got yellow bone. You got peanut butter, if you will. Then you got red bone. That's kind of like in the middle. And then in the dark skin tone, you got not ashy black, Chris.
crispy.
But you got chocolate. You got milk chocolate. You have
crispy nigger monkey.
did I say peanut? Okay. And you got dark chocolate. All right. And I think there's some other particular.
We're never gonna get commercials. Never gonna happen.
We didn't get
Don't associate
Well, okay,
this
all
to our
right.
listeners. Don't associate this with colorism.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, interject, please.
To make sure this is a conversation that can happen and
Yes.
not feel like colorism. We're on the brink of colorism. Can everybody at least identify as one of them, as one of something that you done said that I all think is wild and crazy.
Yeah. So what's
And hold on.
okay?
Get your shit
I
over.
need everybody to identify. What would you call it if
You have to
somebody
classify
if somebody's
yourself.
describing you? How would you prefer that they describe your skin
Chocolate
color?
or milk
So
chocolate?
that you can
Prefer.
be,
That's good. Prefer. How would you prefer?
Chocolate or milk chocolate?
Yeah. So
But-
so that way we
can-
can have some more.
That's exactly what we're
appropriate
going to.
terms.
Yes.
Okay.
that
So
are being
Bradley,
used.
yourself.
Okay, I would consider myself like I just go with a whole general section. I just say dark skin.
You would say your dark skin. Okay.
Okay. D.
I would say.
Am I not dark skinned?
I would say
No.
I just got a the fuck. Okay,
You're darker skin, yes, but
according to his spectrum, he's on the darker.
yeah, I'm a crispy.
I was,
a crispy biscuit, huh?
I almost said something. Let me not. So I would say I'm definitely Hershey's milk chocolate, maybe Reese's.
Hershey's milk chocolate.
Okay.
I'm milk chocolate.
I would say Reese's.
Okay.
That's just,
Remember, this is about how we identify.
Yeah,
This
for
man
sure.
be
Okay.
milk chocolate and remember it so that you can throw it back
I would say
in space.
Hershey, Reese's Pieces.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like that. For me, probably dark chocolate, dark
Godiva.
skin.
Yeah, Godiva.
That's interesting because
And Tizzle,
Maybe.
you gotta say,
I
you
would
would say
say-
milk chocolate.
I would give you
Yeah,
milk
chocolate and milk chocolate.
You look like milk chocolate to me.
Okay, I'll
So,
go with that.
That's the thing. Like
so-
milk chocolate
Boom.
should describe
So,
as
okay.
someone who's typically the
So
color
this
of milk
ties into
chocolate.
what me and
Perfect
Dino were
segue.
arguing because it started off with red bone. No. First it started off with light skin and bright skin.
bright
But before you get there, what are you identifying
Yeah.
yourself?
Chocolate and milk chocolate.
Chocolate or milk chocolate?
Chocolate and milk
okay.
chocolate.
So, okay, that's a perfect kind of pivot into what I'm talking about
Yes.
right here. So I heard Tizzle and his spectrum and how we have light skin and or bright skin and a dark skin. And if you get dark skin, you got peanut butter, milk chocolate, red bone. So for me, light skin and bright skin is synonymous, fam. First of all, they're the same.
They
It
are
means the same thing.
And bright skin,
Yes.
I never heard until Texas anyway.
Yeah, that's some Texas shit. So
light skin everywhere.
but underneath that spectrum, so to speak, bro, you got yellow bone, red bone, bright skin, light skin. It's all the same shit to me. What designates what characterizes that designation for me is the undertone.
There we go.
There
we go.
People have olive undertone, yellow, red.
Excellent job, Darren.
Red. When you turn red in the sun, my nigga, you probably red bone.
Y'all are feeding his ego right
Yellow
now.
bone. There's olive people. No, but seriously, and that's when we get to you talking about dark skin. Yes. What's funny is this shit is highly subjective, depending on where you're from and who you with. Because it's funny. My pops is dark skin by my classification. About colloquially where I'm from, Laura, Mississippi. Else I look it up, Jones County, Mississippi. He's dark skinned. He used to call me and my sister light bright. He used to call me bright skin. By no measure, according to all of our account, I'm not bright skin. He called me bright skin. So again, it's a subjective thing. Perspective is important, but by no definition was, first of all, was I bright skin? And then like on the far end of the dark skin, bro, like you said jokingly blue
black,
Blue
yeah.
black was a real thing. People,
Yeah.
oh, homie, blue black. I got a family that's so damn black.
We had a blue black postman.
Yeah.
So
No,
goddamn
for real.
black. They're almost purple. Like if you look at their
Yeah.
undertones in the sun, they were so damn black. The color they hit when they didn't have a whole lot of moisturization, and when you wipe away that ash, what color was that? The sparkle in the sun was a purplish
It's like
bluish.
purpley blue. It's gorgeous.
That's a fact. I think it's a
and not
beautiful
like in
thing.
a way that it would be more or less gorgeous than anything else.
That's
'Cause
a
we're
fact.
staying
That's a fact.
safe.
And
everybody.
that's why I wanted to get away from the crisp.
Right.
Because
that insinuates burnt.
yeah.
So I have another question.
I'm listening.
All right. So in the case that, actually, I do want to add something to it. So you were talking about, you started bringing up undertones and stuff like that. So when we task white people with making entire makeup lines, that's what they end up doing. They use dark or light, typically, and then they'll add whatever the undertone is, and then they'll make a color off of it.
Yeah.
So that's why this conversation is okay, because y'all are paying for this stuff. Anyway, but like we talked about, you said milk chocolate. Oh, excuse me, you said dark chocolate. I was like, most milk chocolate is the color of your skin, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine. So you called yourself milk chocolate,
Or
Yes.
milk chocolate.
Chocolate or milk chocolate,
So
depending
what's
on
difference to
the
you?
subject.
What would the difference between milk chocolate and chocolate be? Like, give me two good, like, people everybody knows.
Well, like D said, and I at the end of the day, I actually aligned it with his definition. Not because he looked it up on the Webster dictionary or anything like that, but because he is the dictionary, and I believed and aligned with my brother. And I was like, you know what, you have a formidable point. And then he looked it up, and it turned out that it truly aligned. But the difference between chocolate and milk chocolate is that it is tied to the undertone, and I have been privy to that. Milk chocolate has a more creamier, like lighter complexion than regular chocolate, because when you pour milk into chocolate, it makes it lighter, right?
Yeah.
Hence the difference,
Chocolate being cacao.
right? But but the subjective part comes based off of where you come from throughout in the world,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah.
And so hence why his daddy who's darker skin called him and his sister light bright because he probably ain't never seen a light skinned person in his life until
he has
recently.
Okay, this
Just like how some white people in Montana have never seen a black person.
Okay, I will say I've had the similar thing happen. So, and y'all saw the picture of me when I was about this age that I met this family across the street from me.
Yeah,
this family across the street from me. It was like 7 of them, and they all they had several fathers in and out the house. It was just kind of cool to figure out who belonged to who because they all took after the mother. They were just traditional dark skinned people, whatever. And I remember it would be summertime and they'd be like, "Oh, his light ass want to be in the shade." And I'm like, "Bitch, I don't remember." And I was the color of that picture back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, that's interesting how perspective has a lot to do with that because they all, they're all the same exact shade. Didn't matter who daddy was who."
Yeah, they saw you as that.
Yeah.
So the pinnacle of our argument, right, was we were trying to give examples, and I was trying to show him examples because this was at first when we were talking about light skin versus bright skin. I was like, I'm giving you real life examples of people that we know that are considered light skin, yellow bone, and not necessarily bright skin.
Light skin and bright skin.
I'm trying.
Bright skin is just talking about. I was telling them.
Are you able to give two people for our fans, our listeners?
Yeah,
like,
the difference between
yes.
Because where I'm from, I
Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys.
So
I remember googling yellow bone.
So I was
images.
He was considering people like certain people. No, this is a bright skinned chick and this is a yellow bone chick.
Googled it.
And I was like, wait. No, bright skin is like a section of the spectrum. You're thinking about light skin versus yellow bone. Now, light skin. You're right. No, wait. Look, listen.
JT's page.
So an example of a light skin versus a yellow yellow bone person. Think of Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats.
They're what? Bright skin, light skin, or
Yellow.
They're yellow.
Which
bone.
is
That's what you're saying.
Yellow is in the half of the black skin tone spectrum of the under bright skin. Bright skin is the umbrella.
I think
bright skin is the umbrella.
Actually.
I think
So you think that
Swiss is a yellow
Swiss
bone?
is way more
Yes.
And actually, I would just call Alicia Keys light skin because she's really red.
No, somebody that
undertones are red, and Swizzy is definitely
Yellow.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
no, they're both yellow bones.
Swiss pants.
A light skinned person would be let's see. Well, I was about to say Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's not even black,
Passe
right?
Blanc.
Huh?
Passe Blanc.
Yeah,
Who's that?
Passes
that's
white.
what she is. Yeah, that's a fact.
Who's that?
Passes
white.
You're white passing. You're so black.
Oh, yeah. So, damn, I'm trying to think of a celebrity. A light skinned celebrity.
Lauren London.
No, she's yellow. She's yellow.
She is a yellow bone.
She's a yellow
I
bone.
would call her
Yeah,
yellow.
I would call her yellow bone.
Pull up,
She light. She light.
Todd knows best. Pull up. Just type in light skin.
This is what we want to do. What I did.
But
He disagreed with all of the Google images.
Well,
Okay,
TJ's gonna name some people.
I typed in Redbone.
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Light skin.
If it wasn't for the shape of her features, Passe Blanc.
Okay.
Yes.
She could be. Oh, I had somebody say, I didn't know she was black. So I guess so. Yeah, she could be possible.
Jada Pinkett.
She's not a light skin.
I would just call her light skin. Oh,
she's brighter skin or lighter skin complected for sure. But
Aisha Curry.
yellow.
She yellow. She high yellow a little bit.
Yeah.
ooh, I know a good person.
Who?
Sierra. What do y'all consider her?
No, that's not a good person.
Yes, it is because you can't even. You don't want to answer.
No, because she's on the dark skin
She's
spectrum.
dark skinned than you.
She's milk chocolate.
That's a red bone, baby.
Huh? No. Okay. So that was the next part.
classic red bone
Look,
color.
okay. So look, I want to give a good light skin example. A light skin example is Blake Griffin, and then that's
That nigga
what
red.
tied
He
into
red.
the red bone.
He literally has red hair and freckles.
So this was the
red.
next
He's
argument.
red.
This was the biggest part. This was the
red.
pinnacle of the argument. Was the red
If it was a
bone
crown,
argument?
he'd be red.
I was giving red bone examples like Columbus Short and
He's abusive.
huh?
Oh,
Oh my gosh!
so I didn't know.
But like Columbus
Columbus
Short,
Short is a red bone to you?
Yes. Another red bone would
to me,
be.
I would say he's more
So wait, Sierra is darker than Columbus Short to you?
Nah, fam.
Like
Sierra's
yes,
light
slight-
skin.
So I'm trying to think of another. But pull up red bones. But
like a red
Blake
bone.
Griffin, according to
red.
Google, is a red bone, and I was like,
He has red hair and freckles.
he has red hair,
And
but
he's the color
he's
of,
his skin is light skin.
sugar
No,
cookie.
they're actually their own
sugar cookie. He's a ginger.
segment of.
He's a ginger.
He does have a red undertone, but only
No, in this case, only because he has a red tone. Period.
Yeah.
Ergo,
yes,
red bone.
but with black people, and I get
No.
again, it's
If you're
subjective.
from the South,
From the South,
if you're from the South and you got a little red baby to come out you with red hair and stuff like that, you call them red.
He called him red.
really.
Like you
So it's
that's
red
their
hair.
name. That's their fucking name.
No.
That's their nickname
You're
and everything.
red.
You call
I
them
got a
red.
name red.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because they done had
Shout out
red.
Red.
Hold on,
If
just
you
give me a
watching, I
fucking
think Red watched too.
Up north, Bradley's red.
Oh, up north, Bradley is red.
I would bet
Interesting.
that would be everybody's perception.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about Rihanna?
Rihanna,
That's a red bone.
yes, okay. She would be kind of
She
considered
didn't
a red
debut
bone.
as
Yeah.
a red bone because she was straight from them islands, baby, and had been tanned
Drake,
up. Nowadays, that's a red
Drake would
he's
be
sugar cookie.
Drake is in between light skin and yellow. It just depends on like what phase of
just light
Drake
skin to
you're
me.
Yeah, that's
you're
just a light
picking.
skin.
He's a light skin. That's a little.
Yeah.
That nigga's light skin.
But you can be light skinned and not be yellow bone.
Yeah.
True, very true.
Chris Brown is yellow.
But
Because there's some light skin people who have olive undertones.
But we're agreeing that light skin and bright skin are the same thing.
Yeah,
agree.
they're same. They're
but
used interchangeably.
I would agree.
Again, I think that light skin and yellow bone fall under the umbrella of bright skin.
Which falls under the umbrella of yellow-red amalgamation.
Which fall under
Which
the
really makes
umbrella of-
orange, which really makes hook 'em horns.
Y'all listen, and we ain't said no old shit like high yellow.
I said high yellow about 5 minutes ago.
okay.
Facts.
And I apologize to the listeners. We actually probably should have came up with some examples. We were using real life people that we actually know.
Black Griffin is actually Passe Blanc if he didn't have black features.
That's a fact. So is
Right.
Logic, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, see now y'all get
Logic is considered light skin.
I had to look up Pete Davidson's race the other day. Yes.
Yeah, he's half black. I think.
No, he's not.
He's not?
Why the article I looked at, it was like, oh, he couldn't be white because he's from Irish, German, and something to say. I was like, okay, white, got it.
my
The
God.
reason why he has a little bit darker around his eyes and stuff is because he has Crohn's disease.
Oh, shit. I almost made a joke that was very insensitive.
Lupita, she
Not even.
she's considered dark skin.
Clearly.
Donald Glover, he would be considered
black.
chocolate, milk chocolate.
That's interesting because I'm looking at this picture of Donald Glover and that looks like my skin color.
That's your sin, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're chocolate.
But I typed in Redbone people and Blake Griffin and Donald Glover. There's
Donald Glover has a song named Redbone. That's why he
That's
popped
why he
up.
popped up.
that.
Oh,
And he has a
okay,
blue
yeah,
face.
But
They-
Lupita
and the person in the, ironically, that Redbone cover art,
Yeah.
they're blue black. That person is blue black,
Yeah.
quite literally. There's like blue rim light on her face, and she's black as fuck. Blue
He
black.
thought that through when he
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The duality, the paradoxical nature of that imagery. Redbone with a blue black person on the cover art. Shout out, you know what? Shout out to him. That's actually really thoughtful.
Shout out to Atlanta coming back, man.
That's a fact.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Well, I'm glad we were
Or
able to
going
talk
away.
about that without going into colorism because
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think people like confuse like talking about skin
Yeah.
tones
Yeah.
with talking about
Yeah,
colorism.
it's like
attributing value to
saying
those
that anytime
colors.
people use the word nigga randomly or frequently in a conversation that they're just racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Well,
you go.
what race
It's
are
all
they?
about context.
It's
See?
true. Yeah.
Hey, to our listeners, what do you consider? Who
Joe
is
Rogan,
light
they're
skin? Who is yellow skin? Or yellow skin? Yellow
Who's
bone?
yellow skin and red bone skin.
Jaundice.
Right.
Explain the spectrum of black skin tones to us.
Do y'all agree with JT Spectrum?
Do you agree with my spectrum of the left side of the black skin tone spectrum is bright skin and the other is dark skin, and then there's subcategories within there? Or is light skin, light skin, bright skin, and yellow bone all particular individual categories? Let us know. All right.
Hey, and drop an emoji of your skin tone. No,
Yeah, for sure.
at least do your best.
It's gonna, our
You can even do Simpsons
our
yellow.
comment section is going to look like the CLB album cover.
Hey.
Black History Month.
Facts.
month.
All right, so good, healthy debate on black skin tones for sure. But
Melanin.
when we were having the discussion and the debate, it got me also thinking and brings us into another topic, right? Of red flags. And red flags in the sense of, like, do you have a preference, right? Like, is is your skin tone an actual red flag? Like, are you just not fucking with light skinned people, or like, and not necessarily? Yeah. Let me elaborate. Let me expound.
He finna land.
Yeah. So, are you like when you're looking for a woman, or when a woman is looking for a man or a woman
for a partner,
right?
Yeah.
Is the skin tone part of, or the skin tone or ethnicity part of the red flag?
Absolutely.
Sheet.
And
really?
I'm going to hell.
Yes. Why? Why?
So I don't know what it is. So here's the strange part, because I witness women and cheer them on, talking about how like men be going after white women and stuff, and we always related back to the color of their skin and not the character of that white woman, which I don't imagine the character of dating a white woman, whatever, to be personally enjoyable. But they always come back with, those same men always come back with, well, preference is preference. This is about my natural ability. And then it stumps me every time. And I'm like, no, they're right. And then I go and find light skinned niggas every time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't mean to.
Maybe they're just more laid back, and I just
wow. I will say there's no continuity between different types of light skinned men.
Thank you.
But I will say I don't know what it is. It's just what makes you hot. What makes you hot?
I like my preference, and this is not to say that I would never find a dark skinned woman attractive, because I actually do. I actually don't really have a preference when it comes to skin tone, but I've always leaned right towards light skinned women, and I apologize to all the dark skinned women out there, because I love y'all too. I've dated plenty of dark skinned women. I just ended up happening to marrying a light skinned woman.
Dark skinned women?
I have.
I've only
descending sound.
I want to know.
Well, the amount of light skin.
I'm not the one to count, but
Darian only knows 2 women that I've dated, and they were both light skinned. But before my ex,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I actually dated a dark skinned woman. Her name, and I'm not gonna. Well, fuck it.
Don't tell that woman's name.
it don't even matter, B.
Hell no!
I'm saying that.
Well, nigga, you married a light skinned woman too. So is that your preference?
Listen,
what was the skin tone of your woman before?
That's a beautiful question.
She was a different ethnicity, right?
Yeah, I mean, but hold on. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Hold on.
Is fishing.
Yeah. Since he was throwing me under the bus, I decided to run that motherfucker over too.
Check it.
Straight deep sea fish.
Like with a big rod. Pause. Check it out. So this is kind of where I fall. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a preference. First of all, let me state that at the onset.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything wrong. If you are attracted to people who are more heavily melanated, bless you. If you are more attracted to people with to little melanin, bless you. It's nothing. This is not in the same way. If you're attracted to somebody with or without a penis, you like some titties, do your thing. That has nothing to do with me, right? I think you should go after what you dig, and that's just where I stand across the board. You name it, period.
I feel like the only time that we ever see somebody like admit to picking one color over the other, and it's like something problematic, is when I see women chase after a particular man because of their skin color, because of what offspring color they want the child.
Thank you. I was about to go there.
Men do the same thing. I've heard a man say, "I don't want no ugly babies. I need my babies." I've heard a man say, "I need my babies to be cute."
I hate when the ignorant people pollute the social mainstream platform and associating a skin tone with attraction and appeal. Like light skin doesn't necessarily always mean pretty, honey.
Clearly.
Pretty, sweetie. No, it doesn't. All right. There's beautiful chocolate women. Yo, 7th Streeter, man. Oh my gosh.
She dark skin.
To me, she darker skin.
Would you say
Blue pizza is fine?
Would you say it's a red flag for you for people who aren't able to appreciate or understand?
Oh yes. Absolutely. The ignorance is one of the biggest red flags for me.
Somebody who talks about skin color like So we had this whole skin color conversation based off of the fact that, okay, on a frequent basis, black people identify people that they can't remember their name or whatever
That's
based
a
off
fact.
of their skin color.
Yeah,
That's really where that conversation came from. But if it's outside of that, like, why are we talking about the color of somebody's skin if I know who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so if I'm dating somebody and they always talk about this light skin so and so, etc., or they're having conversations around the skin color, and it's not like in a place where we can move colorism forward, etc.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do you care that much?
I used to say that light skinned women were my preference, but that was so ignorant of me to say because that wasn't true. Like, I would actually talk to any different complected black woman. Black woman was my priority.
Is it a problem if bright skin, yellow bone, red bone, whichever classification on your spectrum,
Right.
is it a problem, fellas, if in fact that was your preference and that's what you prefer to date or be
Is that a
physical with?
problem? No.
I think
No.
Right? I feel like it's almost like you're defending.
it can
it could be a problem
problematic.
depending on why
Right.
you're
Right.
seeking out
The
a
logic
particular-
behind it and the intent behind
Okay.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
like, I see people talk about dark skinned women all the time, like, oh, I love me a dark skinned woman, and we praise that stuff and stuff.
Yes.
But they're also fetishizing dark skinned women too.
Oh,
I see it all the time.
exoticizing- yeah.
I have a question though. Are we always making our preferences synonymous with what we're attracted to?
I mean,
Is that always the case? Like, because can you say I'm attracted to light skinned
I see
women,
what you're saying.
but I prefer to be in a relationship
with somebody
with a
who's
dark
little more
skin?
wild.
okay.
Or-
So, thank you, TJ.
That's a lot
That could
to
also
unpack,
go
too.
very wrong.
Yeah,
too.
that's a lot to unpack.
Just an example, but true.
Yeah.
Like I'm attracted to white women,
Okay.
but I'm gonna marry a black woman because of all these promises that I've made to my community. I think that's
but
an
you're
issue.
not
Go,
happy. But
go
you're
marry
not
that white
happy.
woman.
You really want to be with
Please
Susan.
go marry that white woman because
Yeah.
it's not.
But you know
it's
what
not-
though? People get killed though sometimes when they make those synonymous when they say, "Oh, I prefer light skin women."
Well, that's because
And I'm attracted to
that's
light-skinned
because
women.
people like to throw people in a box, like and keep them within boundaries. Like,
Because you may not even be ignorant to skin tones,
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
melanin.
You just have a preference.
You just have a preference.
That's
You
why
have an
I-
attraction.
That's why
but-
I asked, is that an issue? You know,
Well,
'cause
at
I'm
its root, as we know it, and as we know that genetics are all loose and crazy right now. But the thing is, the lighter skin, the black person, the closer you are to whiteness, and depending on the way in which that's brought up, right, in a conversation, that's how we determine whether or not where your heart is placed when you end up saying that, right?
Right.
So it's kind of it's a double-edged sword because maybe it's not an issue that you're just simply physiologically more attracted to a particular color of skin, but you have to question it because of the way that we regard skin colors.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Because of what that brightness or lightness
Right.
or whatever it's tied
because
to.
right.
You have to kind of
you
unpack
have to
that
be
a
able
little
to
bit.
unpack it. Yeah, you can't just
Yeah.
raw be like, I love light skin women.
I respect that. I respect that.
the problem and the beauty of this whole topic and the forever argument is the fact that we come from so many different backgrounds of knowledge and upbringing and beliefs that it's in a melting pot of ideas and opinions. And we tend to generalize people, and it's just going to be a
I think most
never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
Most of what happens in our generation that we hear that might even sound problematic usually comes from the mouth of their grandmother or their mother. So like
Gets passed down and trickled down, like what I said earlier.
I mean, we gotta kind of stop the cycle there. I mean, I was told never to, marry somebody outside of my
your race. Yeah.
But I'm planning on marrying a nigga. So
You know.
Yeah.
Look,
My mother didn't even have to say that
was
to
also
me. Like,
complicated.
I've always wanted to marry, like, even if it was half, and ideally, right?
you got.
Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I got. But I always wanted to make sure,
And you plotted on that.
like,
foresight.
it had to have been. And I am not necessarily. I was about to say I'm prejudiced, but I'm prejudiced as far as my preference. I need to marry. And it was always part of the plan to marry a black woman, whether at the very least, it has to be half. And you can't.
It has to be high. It has to be high.
At the very least,
Not a quarter.
the preference was a full black woman, but I got half. So hey, we halfway
She's
there.
full black. Why she not full black?
Actually, I want to add some color to that then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pun
because-
fully intended.
Because the person, the woman, my grandmother who would preach these things to me. No,
She's half?
she was talking to Lil Pump, but my grandmother,
Lil Pump?
she birthed 9 children. And, and she had it's only my
Score. Damn.
well, here's the thing. So my mom and my aunt, only 2 girls, obviously, because there's an aunt and a mom.
Yeah.
And they both married and had offspring by black men.
Yes.
And all of my uncles.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. Ooh, sorry. I love my.
You said what you said.
I love my cousins. I love my cousins.
Wow.
I love my cousins. I love my uncles.
They went to the land of the cream. Is what you're saying?
But it was based off of where you. That's why I never hear like, oh, that's all the women we had out there. My mom, my aunt married black men.
They went to milk and honey land.
We from Iowa, so it's like kind of
Iowa.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were from Chicago.
My family, my mother and her siblings,
Oh.
and my grandmother. Well, my grandma's not even from Iowa; she's from Missouri. But we're Midwestern people.
Okay, there we go.
And most of my, a lot of my family lives in Minneapolis, which is the biracial capital of America.
That's actually a red flag. Hey, location is also a red flag for me.
Oh, yeah,
Look,
fuck that.
I can't fuck with no woman that's from the Midwest because I'm just like, honey,
not? Why not?
yo, man, because
You know, Martin said women from Detroit had hair on their chest.
it is probably true. Yo, nothing good comes out of Detroit.
There's a whole episode with a woman with hair on her chest. And it wasn't like a trans joke or nothing like that. He was just saying them bitches be hard.
Yo.
It's not the chest.
I was like, damn.
It's their lip. They have hair
Oh,
on their
it's a lip. Okay.
have
Oh, yeah, it was a whole.
They have
it was the
whiskers.
episode-
They have
Yeah.
whiskers.
That's an interesting deal breaker, though. I mean, not the Detroit thing.
Because they just come with
I'm just
such
saying,
a
like,
strong
well, not even the
opinion
Midwest
already.
thing, but like somebody being from somewhere.
yes.
Or a certain
because-
geographical
Look, we gotta be
location.
real. I'm so sick of like the antics of what people are like. Everybody's
can't
trying
be
to
no
be
Harlem nigga.
PC.
Nah, but
Like
see,
that?
And that's true.
It's not PC.
Yes, and that's okay
But
for
hold
people
on.
to have that
But
preference.
The problem I have with that, and I gotta take it back to Outkast, G. The South got something to say. When these boys, the problem I have with that is because it puts delineation on you. It puts you in a box. Because I'm from the South, because my family happens to be from Mississippi, I gotta be a podunk, ignorant nigger from El Side. No, I'm a highly intelligent young man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like putting boxes on people. I can very easily say I can never date a black person from Mississippi. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
And then,
You
boom,
could
you
do
just
the
X
same.
me
Yeah.
out the game. Like
Right,
that's,
yeah.
but no.
Well,
But I do understand how a red flag.
Yeah.
I
when
mean,
you say location, you meant like they're from that place or like they currently live there.
No, he
and
talking
you live-
about
both.
From, he
he
talking
said
about
from there.
He talking
Both.
about
Like, if you're from Greenspoint, you automatically a bad
yeah, bro.
person.
No, you're not a bad person, but I just know what I'm getting myself
flag.
into, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not trying to deal with that.
So when you heard, wait, Sam from San Antonio, I made that up.
Nah, she
Where's she from? Where's she from?
Sugarland.
She's from Pearland.
Okay, so when you heard about a Pearland girl sashaying through the halls of Jester, you were excited about Pearland?
I didn't know what Pearland
There
was
you
at
go.
the
And
time.
that's the point I'm trying to make is that you don't know.
Look.
Right.
I didn't know that Pearland was so close to home. She told me, she lied to me actually. She told me she was from Houston. And then
That's
she
how it goes.
gave context.
That's how
Like
it
after
goes.
3 months, she's like, I got something to tell you. And I was
Everybody be
like, what,
doing
you
that
fuck
shit.
somebody else? She was like, no.
Red flag. Deal breaker.
Right.
That's like wild to me that that's how we
Hey,
thought in college.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? Because that's
Right.
what's important. That's what's important.
People are going to be fucking people. That's crazy.
I'm
Go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
such a jealous bitch.
So I mean, it's so
You
basically
said you too?
I am
So
too.
basically, you don't want one of them Johns. You wouldn't have did that.
Well, let me.
Yeah, like, that's not
John.
you. Yeah,
That was
that's what he
so-
said.
that was
He
so
don't-
East Coast
He don't want
of
one of
you.
them Johns.
Look, check this out. Here's my list. So I can't date somebody that's and ride with me on this roller coaster. Y'all.
Okay,
please.
please. I'm gonna ride with you. I'm not
Buckle
gonna
up,
try,
man.
I'm
Buckle
gonna try
up.
not to judge.
I can't date somebody that's atheist.
Okay.
It's hard for me to be with somebody who has kids from a previous relationship.
Okay.
Unemployed.
Okay.
I'm not fucking with it.
Okay.
What
What if she following her dreams? Technically, she's unemployed. But
Well,
she really
that brings me to my next point. Entrepreneurs. It's funny because Ashley on her debut episode, she says she doesn't like men that are entrepreneurs because she's like, I don't have time.
Her experience with people who call themselves that.
Yo, Issa in Insecure. How she dissed that nigga Lawrence, and then he was following his passion, and that shit came into fruition. If you haven't watched Insecure by now,
right, give it up.
Yeah,
no, you're still good. Go check it out.
Go check it out. But you're far behind. If you live with your parents or you have roommates, and the roommates, I'll give an exception. I can make an exception.
I'll give a pass on the roommates sometimes.
It just depends on how old you are.
I got a piece on that.
Ooh, okay.
Because it's way different.
Share.
At this point in life.
So I also here's the thing. I agree with you.
Yes.
Okay.
So far, I didn't finish the list.
Okay, keep going with
you want me to keep going?
Yeah, finish it up.
Okay, all right.
Actually, start from the top. Atheists, people with kids.
Atheists, people with kids from previous relationship, unemployed, entrepreneurs, live with parents and roommates, dirty.
Okay. That's easy.
This is the hard one. Handicap.
What?
And it's nothing against I know you have a great personality, but it's just like I can be with somebody who eventually becomes handicapped, but
It's
going
preference.
into that,
It's preference.
Yeah, and then a short person, like a really, really, really short person, like a very little person.
I've heard of chicks who have that same thing with fellas. I was like, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
And then the last thing was the last.
We're on page 2 at this point. If
It's
you're
a
keeping
good thing
track.
you're married, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
The game.
Glad
I'm
you
gonna
found
get
the
like
one.
Yeah. Don't kill me. I can't say this last one because that's going to tie. No.
Too late. Go
All right,
ahead.
so this is just my preference.
only
Oh my God.
His
This is just my preference. This is nothing against these women at all.
JT,
But
not TJ.
JT,
Jonathan.
I just can't be with an overweight woman.
Okay.
Wow.
Bruh.
Okay.
All right.
I respect that.
Well,
It's preference.
Because overweight is subjective, though.
I think and it is a mechanical issue for procreation. And
Look,
obviously,
and
he wanted to
I can-
procreate. Sometimes maybe he's too
It's
weak.
just so many things tied to it. I want to be able to pick her up, and then I think about like the health tied to it, right? And you can't. Wait. And you can't.
Hell no!
Well, hold on. But I'm not gonna fall off the edge. I'm not gonna fall. Because look,
Get ready.
but you can't help who you fall in love with, right? I'm not saying that it was completely impossible.
You picked
And
it
so,
back up.
and that's not me being PC at all.
No, it is.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
I said what I said, and that's my preference, but I don't have anything against overweight people. So
job.
let me make
You
that
clean that
clear
up.
distinction, okay?
clean that up
All right?
quite well.
And please do not trample me.
That's growth.
I'm sorry, don't fight me.
Pun intended.
All right, please.
so good.
Don't trample me. God damn it.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me, please.
Unique contrast to that.
Bradley.
But also kind of agree with you in a few ways. So first, starting with the atheist thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Everything that I think about when it comes to like my ideal partner is thinking about what would make our lives easiest, which would mean that they would have to have some similar behaviors as me.
And
I
beliefs,
think most of our behaviors are based out of our beliefs. So yes, I
Some
agree
type
with
of spirituality. Right.
but I'm not saying, and actually, I was about to say something that you said to overweight people that sounded like bullshit, but I'm about to say it to atheists.
Oh, shit.
I don't have anything against your beliefs. That's totally
But
fine.
that's just
You believe
something that
way.
you're not willing to
Yeah,
deal
but
with.
I'm just not, it doesn't work for my life.
It's kind of like dating a white woman. I would never, ever, like before Sam, I would never have the intentions of marrying a white woman because I just don't have
Sam's
the
not white,
time.
though.
I just don't have the time
I don't
to
have the
educate
beliefs.
you on my culture.
Right.
Like, that's not something I'm not willing to invest
you
in.
burn the pizza once and you call
Yeah.
a nigger.
And
Shit.
You don't get that shit.
right.
Yeah, you burn the hamburger
and,
helper, it's over.
and it's not that I'm not attracted to overweight women. It's just that it's going to be hard for me to kind of like get past
It's
all the
sexually
other.
aroused, let's be clear.
No, not even that. Because like I've been sexually aroused by overweight women. I've never been intimate with an overweight woman.
Well, if that's the case,
No. I'm not attracted to Lizzo.
He caught rock.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that means that why can't you get stronger to pick up a heavy, not a heavyweight?
Because I'm not going to put myself through.
I really try to be the best person I can.
See? Well, clearly Bradley's on the same page with me. He's not dating overweight people either.
There's layers for every red flag.
Hey, layers! Come on, brother.
Layers. All that picking her up and shit. That ain't the only layer. You
Not
feel me?
everyone has that as
One at a time.
That's why I was trying to peel back. Let's
Yeah.
peel back the
back the
layers because I fed you an excuse and you didn't even take it and eat it up. Instead,
I normally don't. I stand on my own sword. But look, the one thing that I did leave out is that I know every single one of y'all could vouch for and attest to is political preference. I can't be with no Republican. You can? You can be with a Republican?
I already live without the government.
Why not?
Invading my thoughts.
You can live. Okay,
I can't live with somebody who wants to talk about Republican politics all day.
time. Yeah.
Well, that's
you
what I
can
was kind of alluding to.
Do whatever you want to, as long as it's not affecting the policy in this fucking house.
Hey, that's
Give a fuck.
that's real.
I will say from the perspective of a person who's been with somebody for well over a decade. That sound good, but after a certain point, there becomes such points of contention whereby I know people with whom have had situations with people of opposite political affiliation, and it just gets too contentious because we live in a really tribalistic political climate where you cling to your side so heavy that it sounds good, right? But like for me, red flags, I can't be with anybody who's too counter to my narrative, whether that be political, ideological, physical, cultural. We gotta be in alignment in some ways, right? Like I've never been attracted to, well, let me not say that. I've never wanted to date a white woman. And a big part of that, of course, comes from, I'm from Mississippi, you get hung for that shit. But like more importantly, it's just partly in part to the subconscious conditioning, you better not be. Maybe so, but like I just never was attracted to that, and that's okay. But for me, it's also counter to who I am. I'm very unapologetically black. I would say yes, I'm an Afrocentrist. So something so counter to that is just not something I was inherently attracted to. I would say that goes the same for my spiritual beliefs, my faith. That goes the same for like ideologically. If you just wake up and think all people who don't believe what we believe going to hell, I can't be with you.
Yeah.
So for me, it goes deeper than just the religious thing, which religion is just dogmatic beliefs organized into it. But like, if we aren't in alignment on those ways, then I think it goes like that's a red flag across the board for me.
Well, I mean, when you brought it to the religion piece there, I think the core of Christianity is evangelism, right? To bring followers along with you. And I think a lot of times people like you ever have a friend or something that gets we start calling them like super savers or like fanatics, etc.
Yeah.
It's because they're trying to rush that process, right? In a way, it's kind of problematic for me. But when what I imagine myself doing in an atheist versus Christian relationship, not even versus. See, that's terrible. See,
it's
is that I would be longing for some hope that they would eventually,
and you can't change them.
But here's the thing: there's so many. I don't have to identify it as Christianity that I'm putting into their life. I feel like they're going to naturally, to my own horn here. You're going to naturally want to be as in sync with me as possible, especially the relationship the partner that I play in most relationships. And I think that eventually that would bother me maybe if they never pivoted, turn that corner. Yeah. But I can't say that I wouldn't date an atheist because I don't know if they'll never get to that point.
What about, so you're talking about changing the atheist. What about the atheist is an atheist and there's no prospect of them ever believing in any higher power, anything bigger than themselves.
But they got to communicate part.
That's where I can predict that it still wouldn't be a deal breaker because at that point, let's say it takes me 20 years. We've been in a relationship for 20 years. And
you've known all this time that they're atheist?
Simply an atheist doesn't believe that there's a deity.
Yeah.
Right.
Not as opposed to agnostic.
Right. who believes that there is a deity, but it may not be Jesus Christ,
Exactly.
or the God that we pray to.
Or
as
it could be an
Christians.
alien, or it could be a she or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it could probably would be worse than the atheist. But I believe in the aliens. So I did have. Oh my God! Remind me to tell y'all a story about this man that I drove in an Uber that asked me about aliens. But anyway,
you drove Uber.
That's
a whole. We got to. That's a whole
fucking mess.
That's a red flag for me too. Look, because all okay. Let me make this point. Well, actually, I want you to finish your point, and then
I do want to wrap that up.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that I wouldn't go into it trying to change an atheist, and that's why it's okay for me. That's why it would never be a deal breaker, because by the time, let's say it's been 20 years, now I love you, I might as well be like, fuck it, you know, like
you put up with it.
My beliefs are mine, and yours are yours.
Okay, it hasn't caused any friction.
Yeah,
and you put up with it all this time. Most of the people don't even realize that they would deal with the red flags until after they're already at a certain threshold of their relationship. And it's just like, well, this would have been a red flag for me, but now that I've already been with you for this long, I might as well just deal with it now, because like me pulling out, I'm not willing to start back all over. And I actually have an interesting game called The Four Phases of Love with JT that I would love to introduce. I've used this game on people that have either gone through breakups or that are single or that are in a relationship, but they're playing games and they're not understanding the true importance and value of time. And the game really works on not misogynistic, monogamistic. If that's a word, people that believe in monogamy that want to have kids natural birth,
right?
Okay,
so it's planning for a monogamous childbearing relationship
and just implementing the true value of time into your relationship, right? But anyways,
that's when it does sort of matter, right?
Yeah.
But modern technology does help with that, so.
Right, but
I don't know if that's a sustainable business idea, but
and I got two things that I want to share. The red flags the list of red flags that I put out, that was just stuff that at face value, right? Usually what people are talking about red flags, they're talking about not only just the tangible things, right? But they're talking about things like red flags that they end up seeing as they're dating. Like, ooh, you don't keep yourself clean or whatever, or you don't bathe you don't bathe with a washcloth, red flag. Oh, you clip your nails, oh, you snore at night, ooh, red flag. Oh, you don't take care of your hygiene, red flag.
I tweeted this a few months ago. I said it gets to a point to where the patterns mean more than the potential.
I knew that's where you were going. I was like, those are indications. They're not red flags. They're indications of poor behavior, like a general poor behavior, right?
Which is centered around a pattern.
That's a fact.
So what we
red flags,
will we align on saying red flags are supposed to be identified at the top of the relationship, at the beginning, at the inception of the relationship, or can they be identified at any point of the relationship?
They can be identified at any point.
Like a red flag would be in a football.
At any point of the game. Yeah, look at you. Yeah, good for you.
I think it depends.
2 points.
I think it depends on how much you're looking for the red flags, and then as well as if that person, how well they're expressing themselves or how much they're expressing themselves to the point to where you can see the red flags.
Yeah.
Because some people open up slow, some people move slow, but some people are also like looking for certain things before they go to the next step or the next level. Right. So it's a give and take. You might be looking for red flags, but this other person might
depending
be
on how good your communication skills are.
That as well.
You might be able to identify you might be able to foresee red flags based off of those little behaviors that we were talking about, right? So I don't necessarily know if I want to villainize people who look for red flags or are obsessed with them. People who are obsessed, yes, I want to villainize those folks. But people who are in tune with what behaviors add up to a general red flag or could lead to a particular red flag, I actually admire those people.
Bradley, that is how I have always moved and navigated. Like prior to leading up to Sam, I always go in like I said on the last episode, I won't even approach you if I'm attracted to. And I want to apologize. I want to take this moment to apologize again to the overweight community, right?
Wait, why?
Only because
why are you not apologizing to the skinny community?
Yeah.
Because I'm attracted to skinny women.
That's a loaded question.
But like the reason why I want to apologize is just putting that idea out there. Now, yes, it is my preference, but at the same time, to our listeners that are some of our people are naive,
right?
And so when they hear like that one person is not attracted to overweight, then that puts an idea in their head. Oh, maybe I'm not attracted to overweight people either.
It's a constant unlearning of what society tells us is attractive. So even the fact that like even the bullshit excuse that we can say that like we are not sexually aroused by overweight people, so that makes them unattractive. It's a deal breaker, etc. That is a socialized physiological reaction in our bodies. Right. So it's a constant reminder. If you're able to, I would treat it like people treat races, and we allow them to become better people, hopefully. Yeah. I feel like I treat myself that way when it comes to overweight people, and having been overweight in my life too, and currently overweight. I understand that it is a constant unlearning of what we find to be attractive, and that there will be times in which we have uncomfortable conversations that are related to overweight people.
Facts.
That make assumptions about overweight people. And I think that we should, especially since the playing field is even, because anybody can eat anything. Yeah. The playing field is even, so I feel like it should be a mutual respect amongst both those who are proponents. I feel like everybody should be proponents for people being whatever weight they want to be.
What a way to put a cap on that. Thank you for closing that in the best way possible. That was beautiful. And then back to the point that I was trying to make. No. The other point about what? Oh, you weren't done. Oh no, keep going. I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I also didn't let you finish before I came in. Yeah, but I was going to say that I think on both sides, I think there should be.
So what I gonna say?
I think there should be some understanding on both sides here. Not understanding both of our points, because the point is that you can be whatever weight you want to be, but there should be some understanding for those in which have not that have not undone what society has done to us to think about overweight people in education. So we know that heightening the amount of angst amongst the parties does not help us progress this message at all. Right. Just know that not all the time are people going to speak positively about overweight people or speak
or even know what overweight, because we keep using the term overweight, but we do understand overweight is a medical designation whereby you're more you weigh heavier than you should for your age or whatever your BMI, but that's a specific designation. You can look regular. Like you can look like a normal person.
Actually, and I had just said that too. I'm technically overweight, but I don't appear like a fat man or what we would call fat people. That's right.
Why we got to make, because we keep saying overweight, but like not being attracted to overweight could mean you not being attracted.
Great point, Dino.
And that's actually tiptoeing. When we talk about overweight people, we're talking about who people call fat. Yeah. Derogatorily.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Because I know fat people that call themselves fat, not in derogatorily. That's not a word. I don't think derogatorily.
Yeah. No, it's not at all.
Yeah. But I also would never approach this person going up to them and be like, hey, I'm not going to talk to you because I think you're fat. I'm not going to talk to you because you're atheist, whatever.
Okay, well, I'm just JT, what happens? Well, I'm the only. Are you single?
Technically, yes.
Okay. So if wait, are you? Would you consider yourself?
Thank you.
Hey, TJ doesn't want you to prod.
So
go ahead.
If someone who would wait, first of all,
speak hypothetically. Then
no, the baseline is we have to have some baseline facts first before we can ask questions. Right?
Objective reality.
Are you? Would you consider yourself attracted to women that are fat? I'm gonna use the word fat.
Yes.
Somebody give us a definition of fat.
Fat meaning,
which is where we should have went from the spectrum of things, because we could talk about how like fat people are, or people that call themselves
chunky people.
It doesn't always mean the same thing,
not
right?
At all.
Same way your spectrum doesn't.
Not at all, because I'm swole.
Right.
What?
Okay.
Nigga, shut up.
On the spectrum, on my spectrum.
You see how quick I was ready to support you?
I'm swole on my spectrum, but on some spectrums, you got iron exposure.
I think that's also why I have a good grasp on what people should think. Because, how inequitous it is based off of what people see first, right? If somebody sees a fat face first, they might call somebody fat. But their body might look better than somebody who has a skinny face. I've noticed when it comes to women, depending on the body part that is that has the most fat on it, we'll call you fat or thick, right? I hate watching conversations where niggas talk about whether somebody is fat or thick.
Yeah.
That shit is wild to me. Because the
It's
answer's right there.
counterintuitive, though.
No, she's not thick unless it's in her ass
All right.
or her fucking titties.
Let's just use an example. Lizzo.
Yeah, so the example.
Would you talk to a Lizzo? Like not like her, but like
No, would you talk to
somebody
Lizzo?
of a body structure like Lizzo?
Most likely not.
Okay. All right. So now that we've got those
That's
baseline
okay.
things
Okay.
figured out,
Okay.
when we the
A
question
larger,
was
she's okay.
Yeah.
the initial I forgot what the initial question was.
Well, you asked me if I was
would you
single.
talk-
Yes.
I threw
said
it technically
technically-
in front of that.
He
Yes.
said technically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he said,
if you were single,
Yeah.
technically,
Yes,
if you maybe,
but she is technically.
Technically.
Come on, niggas. Damn.
I'm actually having more fun making this.
I know, me too.
So if you were technically single,
Technically.
Technically.
and a woman wanted to talk to you who would be considered that looks like Lizzo,
But she's
how would you go about letting her know
that you're not interested.
that you're not physically
Respectfully.
interested in her?
Respectfully.
Wow.
Technically.
Okay.
And would you prioritize respect in that first?
Technically.
Of course you would, right?
Chris turned the camera to TJ and everything.
my character would prioritize that.
I would imagine
Okay.
so. Todd knows best.
I think it would take me some time, not like days, but I don't know about right
She's
now.
looking at you.
Like it would take me some time to just think it out how I would like to articulate myself as far as how I'm not attracted to you, I guess, in that way. But y'all putting a nigga on the spot, yo. The light is bright and hot, yo. But no, I would definitely prioritize with telling her in some sort of fashion. I don't know how I'll go about doing it right now.
Yeah.
But I would definitely put some effort into
And making sure that it was
keeping
respectful
it.
when you did.
Keeping it 100%, 1,000% respectful.
I don't like you, baby.
Why?
No, I'm
Darian. And the thing is, Darian is he's the worst example of person to be insulting people right now because his wife is fucking thick. I mean, the skinniest person on the planet.
my favorite thing.
Thing is, we know that. Okay, whatever.
That's the point that I was trying to Bradley.
Understand who
Because
we
you
are.
said that though,
Hilarious.
I feel like if it were somebody who was super and the opposite, I feel like I would approach it the same way.
That's a fact. Because there's people who are thoroughly unattracted to skinny people. I had a chick tell me,
Yes.
I think you're super cool, you fly, I love your personality, you're amazing, but you too skinny for me,
But
baby.
okay, wait a
And I was
minute.
like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
So here's the difference, though, is that well, actually, that's a good example there, right? Because it was the opposite sex
Happens
doing the
all the
opposite
time.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Or doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But it unfortunately it doesn't work the same way for like because women shame women too when
All
it
the
comes
time.
to like their body size, right? And I see a lot of
Women
skinny
shame men,
girls, I see
too.
a lot of skinny girls go like, oh my god, what about the skinny bitches? Y'all always talking about skinny. These fat
Yeah.
women always
Yeah.
mad at skinny bitches. Y'all are capitalizing off of that. Whereas when you make fun of fat women, they are at a detriment, right? Because of what is hegemonic in our society, which means fat is bad, skinny good, right? So it doesn't matter how much a fat person. Same way, black is bad, white is good in America. It doesn't matter how much a black person makes fun of a white person.
It doesn't
it'll
change the
never
power
erase.
dynamic.
It'll never. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
change the power dynamic.
But
right?
that does not discount and or
But it works opposite way on men.
and women though, because Jen is skinny. She's societally the whatever, right? But I mean, she's been told before by people she holds in high regard, baby, you need to eat more. What's going on with you? Why are you so skinny?
Yeah.
So like you can get skinny shamed just like you get fat shamed, and that shit
You can.
still hurts, fam.
It does still
you
hurt.
still feel that. You know what I mean?
So that question that you
I try to gain
posed.
weight, I can't.
So that question that you posed, Bradley, that question that you posed to TJ, that's the point that was the second point that I was trying to get at after I made my public address apology to overweight people was to fat people or to thicker people, right? The second point that I wanted to get at is like I make it a priority to communicate like what I'm looking for, and if I approach you, that means that you have already achieved most of the
There are checks in the
tangible
boxes.
at first glance, face value approach, you've already checked all of those checklist items off of my list.
Or maybe you haven't checked some of the things that I don't want checked.
And I want to figure out, right, exactly.
Know.
And I'm going to figure out by date 1 and date 2, no later than date 3, right? And I'm going to ask all the questions and get straight to the point. And people may see that as like, man, he's really straightforward.
Wow.
But yes, I need to know because I'm not in the business of wasting time.
That's so interesting because it's like I want to fight on both sides, right? Like if a woman heard you say that to her, like, I already told you what I wanted and you don't fit that and I tried.
I don't want to lead you on, baby.
You never know what a big woman can do for you, right? Which I agree with. I'm like, you never know.
That's true.
Right.
Very true.
But we don't do the same thing when it comes to other purposes, right? If a nigga came up to a straight nigga and be like, you want some dick? And you be like, no, I know what I'm looking for, even if you said it politely, right?
Yeah. Bro, it's-
Right? Then we're like that gay man is wrong for pressing that issue, right?
Yeah,
but it's the same thing as like a big woman pressing the issue on a man who doesn't want a big woman.
Like, yes,
good,
I don't know what you can provide for me, but I don't care. Like, I don't want to
care to
know.
learn.
Like, because that's not my preference.
Is that being
I don't have anything against you. I just don't like you.
And that's why
you can
I
have
totally understand it.
Right, exactly. And that's the point that I was trying to drive home. So, and I get all of that shit out the way. And don't get me wrong, it's not, the date isn't not going to be unenjoyable or not enjoyable, but we're going to have a great time, but
I got
I'm
a
also
question.
going to get straight to the point and ask those questions. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question for the panel.
For the panel, let's get it.
So, okay, we're talking about preferences now. I'm gonna give y'all a bit of perspective. I'm a 30-something-year-old, early 30s, baby. I ain't old. Don't get it twisted. But I've been with my lady for over a decade.
Yeah.
My red flags are long explored, right, and long retired by this point. But there are red flags. I would say there are things that arise at certain milestones in a relationship that you couldn't have foreseen, that you have to tackle, you have to address, you have to work through. What I'm curious about, at where you are right now, everybody's in a different stage. You're technically single. You are single. You are married with a baby on the way. Are there some red flags you can speak to right now that don't necessarily have to do with size or, just some red flags? When I say red flags, let me define what I mean by red flags. When I say red flags, I'm talking about things that are hand raising, that are eyebrow raising, that are alarming, that are things you have to address before you can proceed.
Let me go first.
In this relationship.
Ambition.
I feel like right now.
If you give up on yourself, that wasn't part of the plan. Like,
Okay, so they have to have strong self-determination, drive, will.
They just have to believe in themselves, and they can't give up on themselves or me or us as a unit. And so the moment that you start doing that, we're going to have a discussion. We're going to have several discussions to try to help resolve that and to get you back on track. And I'll use like postpartum as an example, right? Not necessarily postpartum dealing with pregnancy, but just say if you go through like a traumatic, and I'm only using postpartum the term because of lack of a better term. And if there's a better term, help enlighten me. But postpartum or PTSD after a particular situation or grief, right? And then and you just can't get over that, right? And I'm doing everything in my power, in my wheelhouse, to help and provide you the tools. And we're even going to therapy, and we're using external and third party resources, right? Trying to help you get over this situation. And if you're just you're not putting in forth the effort to get better, it's not helping myself, yourself, or the relationship and the vehicle that we were driving in this bitch in the first place. And so I'm going to start exploring my options to pull out and get out of that situation. Right, exactly. Yeah. So the ambition piece, and then you just being nasty. You just kind of giving up on not cleaning and just being a responsible human being. I can't fuck with that.
You mean like
red flag.
Not hygienic.
Right. Those two things, I'll throw in the red flag.
I'll contrast that actually, because he's talking about like things that come up later on, right?
Yeah, that's something that can come up later on.
Anything that's not teachable or coachable. Oh my god,
you used to be a forexer.
Anything that's not coachable, coachable behaviors that don't challenge that person's beliefs that I know them to be, are not something worth breaking up.
So things that are or are not.
I'm
inherent.
glad you said that because I've dealt with that a few times. Thinking about a few of my ended relationships, and you start to think sometimes, when you're looking for closure, kind of like, okay, well, all right, maybe we're not going to make this work.
What are some absolutes?
What can I take from this? What are these red flags, these deal breakers that occurred that led up to this moment? Are these fixable?
Cheating.
Can they be worked on?
Cheating.
And I'm not talking about that one.
No, hold on.
I'm not talking about that one, but
That's
not that
good.
one.
You say fixable.
Fixable. Are they worth breaking up over? Because like, could they be 10-year?
Yeah.
Sought out red flags that you've been able to cope with and live with and function with this person, or is it something that, like you said, just
that's why I said if I'm making a concerted effort to address it and to help you fix it, and we're using all those other resources, external resources to get you through that situation, and it's just not working. And part of that is you not putting in the effort, and it's consistent. After a certain while, I'm not gonna keep dealing with that, right? Fair. I know it's part of the vows through thick and thin. You write and you make your own vows. If you break those vows, then there's got to be a reason associated with me and for me. If I break the vows, it's because like at this point in my life, it's because she didn't meet the end. She didn't keep her end of the bargain, or I may have fucked up and cheated. It's one of those two things, right? And I broke my vow.
Seems like
Whoopsies. Another one's like,
yeah.
Well, they're both a breach of vows. You're right.
That's right.
Yes,
they're
exactly.
both a breach of
They have that in
vows.
common.
I understand that. One of those seems like there's a root cause that hasn't been discovered, and one of them does not seem like that. But that's well worth figuring out in your own life. Listen, I was going to bring up something else because I want your opinion in real life. All right. What about age? Huh?
Oh, yes.
Deal breaker for anybody?
It can be, yes.
absolutely, it can be.
I'm not going any higher than 7 years, son.
Okay.
Where are you at right now?
So Sam's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
Oh, and then as far as like the bottom line, no lower than 3 to 5 years, because again, that ties into I just ain't got the time, honey, to teach you how to be an adult.
JT,
Look,
he ain't got time to be explaining what a VHS is.
come on, look, but
Where's the Walkman?
and I'll let y'all in on some stuff, just a little bit, right? A little bit peek underneath the tent, all right? Like Sam's 2 years younger than me, and then there were some things that I had to kind of help walk her through.
Fact.
As far as like credit and like the finances. She's not the most comfortable with that, right? She's a lot better now and a lot smarter, right?
When you zoom out though, y'all are the same age group.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So you're talking about age groups.
Yeah, well, no, that's. I just
you just threw out a generalized question. Okay.
The fact that you felt that it was because of her age that you had to teach her no is because of just her just not knowing, right?
Not necessarily.
It's experience,
I
right?
have no financial literacy.
It's experience.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm
But
trying to look at. So I'm gonna present the question again.
okay,
Different way.
I'm gonna let y'all two answer.
No, I'm gonna present the question in the same way. Now that we've looked at and assessed an example of an answer, right? So, does age matter? Or, excuse me, is age a deal breaker? Actually, I said the words. What about age? So I'm glad you get
I don't think it's a deal breaker. I think it's a factor.
It is.
Absolutely.
But
I would
it's not
agree
a
with
deal
that.
breaker
can play
because,
it. Yeah.
my head ass, I'm always going back to Beyonce and Jay-Z first.
Yeah.
Even though that's not like real life goals. But
Would you happen to know off the top of your mind how old Jay-Z was and Beyonce was when they first started dating?
That's a great question.
When they started dating.
That's what I wanted to get into, actually.
I don't know.
Because they might be inspirational.
Did you actually get your question off? Your refined question
Which one? Which version?
about the age thing?
Oh, no. I re-asked it intentionally the same way.
Okay.
It looks like maybe she was 18 and he was 30.
Okay.
Look at that
12
difference.
years.
Look at that difference.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, I got my answer.
So, hold on. So, okay. My answer to that, this is a two-parter. The first thing I have to address, you know what, it leads into it. We were talking about the whole red flag thing. For me, it's not even a red flag. It's something that kind of that gives me pause, and when people are not open to do not have an open mind. We're gonna change over time, love. If you're not open to who I am after the course of 10 years and 5 years, 2 years, whoever, then I think that's a problem. And that leads into the same conversation. For me, so that's a hard one because my parents, my stepfather and my mother are 10 years apart from each other. So when this nigga was in college, I'm sorry, when he was in high school, she was in like elementary. She was born. It was a pedophile. So it was
we not gonna go there.
8 and 18. So
it depends on how you look at it and view it, right?
And same with my in-laws, in fact. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. So like that's a 10-year difference. That's a big jump. With me and Jen, we're like a year or two or something. Like a year, we're like a year and like even less or something like that. So for me, age isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but it is a factor. And there are a lot of things that are a factor. I think ethnicity can play a factor. I think cultural upbringing. I think ideological perspective. There's a lot of things that can play a factor.
You know, I'm
So
learning
that's one of many variables.
I'm learning a lot of things about myself. I'm learning that I'm actually jumping the gun and identifying what I feel like I identify as a red flag, but TJ brought up a great point that those are actually most of them are actually factors. Yeah, because
Factors that may lead
one
into
of many.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you pull back the layers, when in the context or the realm of age, I didn't even factor in the point like Jay-Z and Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
Even though that's a 12-year gap, Beyonce was probably well matured at 18
Both
years.
got a lot of
She-
money.
Yeah.
She
you know,
both,
both
yeah.
rich. Top of their game.
So
Right.
I'll take it a step further. Factors, it was a great word. It's perspective.
Yeah.
That too.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So
What's your red flag, Bradley?
Okay. Well, it would technically be all these, but if somebody was 10 years, let's say my junior, maybe they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So you'd be open to that
Okay, so in this
situation.
phase of your life, some of these are your red flag. Okay, cool. Do we want to put a cap on it? I think we've gone long enough. Y'all want anything else to address before we get into start wrapping this up?
I think we good. I mean, I would love to hear the audience's
Yeah.
red
Me too.
flags. Just drop some of your red
Monitor
flags.
man,
What do you feel about?
please bring the mic to me, or bring the camera to Bradley. I'm sorry,
really?
bring the mic to me. Bring the camera to Bradley. Or do you want to ask the question?
Oh, I was just gonna say. I was gonna add to your question. It's
Yeah.
like you said, let us know what you feel about your red flags. But I mean, let's go in order of the episode. How do you feel about fat people? How do you feel about? That's fine. That's a word.
He not laughing.
How do you feel about people cutting you out because of the color of your skin within your own skin archetypes? And then lastly, how does age affect how
That
you go
paradigm.
about finding a partner?
Does it matter?
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Is it a red flag? Is it a deal breaker? Is it a factor? Is it a perspective?
Wow.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Come on now, and let us know.
And don't
listeners,
tell us what works for you works for you.
listeners, let us know what are your red flags. What are your deal breakers? Drop some comments on this highlight clip that will likely be released.
People who don't accept you for you, baby.
Yeah, or even email us and write in. Right? Hey, all right, Todd Knows Music. Let us know. Oh, you like what I did there, huh?
Yeah. That's
Let us know what's going through. What's the latest in the airwaves?
Yeah, it was a slow week, not like last week, which is kind of slow, but this was a little slower. I mean, it was Valentine's week. It was Valentine's week, so we got a few kind of like Valentine-esque projects.
No sleeper albums.
Yeah. I mean,
R&B.
I'm gonna just go through the list. Monday, Uncle Murda dropped a project. Vince Mensa dropped a project. Pee Wee Longway dropped a project on Monday. This is hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop.
As far as Friday music, Yeet. I don't know if y'all heard of Yeet. There's a lot of money behind this project. If you like Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, it's kind of in that realm.
Okay.
It may not be for the older guys and gals. It may not be for everybody.
What?
It's sonically, I thought it was interesting.
It's a factor.
Yeah.
It's a factor.
Big Crit dropped a new album.
Shout out to Mississippi.
Shout out Big Crit. It's called Digital Roses Don't Die.
Shout out to the Mud.
17 tracks, 38 minutes.
Whoa, 17 tracks, 38 minutes.
about
So
it.
that's a lot of interludes then.
There you go.
It's a lot
There's
of
four interludes on there. It wasn't my favorite Big Crit album, but
That's okay. That's
Oh, you already heard it.
I did. But it's well produced. A lot of instrumentals, vocals, real southern kind of jazzy like. But
True
again, I think
Crit
if you're
fashion.
I think if you're a Crit fan,
Right.
you'll still appreciate it
You gonna
because
dig
he always kind of has that
And if you don't,
concept.
why the fuck you came? You know?
Hey, look.
Why the fuck
Hey,
you
man.
came?
Currency
Oh,
and
that's
the
not
Alchemist dropped an album.
And I'm currently listening to that.
Yeah, it's called Continuance. I mean, hey, what can you say? They never miss. Alchemist never miss. Currency.
He
Alchemist.
does not.
Shout out Currency.
He a
I enjoy
sniper.
him.
And then
ready.
hip hop album Sada Baby. I don't know if y'all listen to Sada Baby. Straight out. Where's Sada Baby from?
Where do y'all find the time to listen and digest all this content on a weekly basis? Oh my gosh.
Hey, Sada Baby dropped a project called Bartier Bounty 3. 20 tracks, 1 hour, 8 minutes.
Won't be listening.
But I did just want to give y'all some singles. Jack
Out on time, bro.
Jack Harlow dropped a single, Nail Tech.
Is it
Harlow?
It's nice. The video is safe, but it's nice. Fivio Foreign, Kanye West, Alicia Keys dropped the video to City of Gods.
Stop. When was that?
Yeah.
Today or something?
What's up?
When was that?
I posted that in the chat, and I said
okay.
that this song, I don't usually stand on couches with a bottle in my hand, but that song would get me
JT, don't press that issue, because if I click on that and I don't feel like that, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, because like the reason why it touched me is because like my heart is in the East Coast, right?
Okay.
And so, and I'm a big fan of Kanye. I like what they're putting forth in Fivio. And Alicia Keys, that actually segues into what I want to interject, if I can.
Yeah, and then I'll just quick shout out. Vince Staples too dropped the project or the single Magic. It was on Monday, produced by Mustard.
All right, Vince.
Yeah.
Two Vinces releasing it on the same week.
Get into that R&B bag.
So that Alicia Keys, I finally had time. I took the time to get into the Keys album, the latest album from Alicia Keys.
Thank you.
And boy,
What'd you think?
Oh my gosh,
Beautiful.
It's one of the best albums that not only she's released, but I just think one of the most complete albums for sure.
I'll try.
You know how an album goes through different like phases of moods.
I gotta give at least 3 spins.
Yo, the first 7 songs, like I didn't skip. And
Yeah.
she is a talented woman. You hear the vocal range that she executes. Nice production.
Yeah.
Like some of the top, like Swiss Beats or whoever is behind her production, at least the first quarter of her album.
That's his
Bro,
performance.
Is
oh
she
my
on there
gosh.
whining?
What's up?
Is she on there whining?
No,
I
no,
just
no,
don't
this is-
like
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's
gonna play the piano and shit.
it's-
I'm just tired of her whining.
It's,
Bro.
She's not whining.
She's not.
It's a double album.
Singing is what she
Okay.
was.
It's a double album, and the concept
nice.
behind it was the first album is called Originals, and then the second half is called Unlocks.
Right.
It's the
Okay.
Unlock section.
Unlock
Get it? Like Unlock, like
I'm
keys.
sad I didn't know that she had a whole.
It's incredible. It's a great album.
I
Great
dig it.
album.
And the features are really dope too. And then the other sleeper that I wanted to bring light to is 7th Streeter, the deluxe.
Oh, you been talking about her?
Oh, she had a deluxe version.
7,
I
bro.
mentioned her earlier in the pod.
I love
7th
7, baby.
Streeter. She brings that sexiness to, and she just makes you want to touch your partner or just somebody you're attracted to, and just let them know you love them. Let them know you want to fuck on them, and
wow.
then also just let you know that they get on your goddamn nerves.
Yes, that's
She
actually
take you
where-
through all the 3 different emotions.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
boy,
okay.
these additional items. Normally, I don't fuck with a deluxe, but boy, her.
How many songs is it? You saying that like there's a lot of.
I think it's a total of 16, maybe.
It's something like
TJ, didn't something else deluxe come out this week? I feel like I saw something
Hotels.
deluxe.
Hotels.
hotels,
Oh, yeah,
motels.
I need to
That's
listen
still
to
in
I
the
didn't
rotation.
I didn't like that as much as the 7th Streeter.
You better be
and I thought it was
careful.
going to be the
The
other
way
way
that
You
around.
better be careful.
The way that you describe
better be careful.
how transformational the 7th Street Deluxe was,
I think he's
there's a
like
lot. Is the way that I've read that people enjoy motels.
Bro,
Motels or hotels?
It's motels because it's deluxe, baby.
it's hotels, motels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's
I will say that
I don't know what these niggas
her
talking
deluxe, Jasmine Sullivan's deluxe, I actually downloaded some of the interludes, like the stories.
Oh yeah, the tales
With
yeah.
the music behind it,
Yeah.
behind the stories, I fuck with that, man. That's a
They're
thing that I like.
They're so
She has
clever,
really good,
Yeah.
and real at the same time.
Yeah.
But just other R&B that dropped, not too much. singles. Tinashe dropped a single on Monday.
She fine.
Hey, shout out to Tinashe though, because she's on her own label. She was with. She has some BS with RCA, so she's doing her thing. Doing
Is she
her stuff.
independent?
She's independent.
That's nice.
Dropping stuff on her own creative terms.
You know who else is fine is Doja Cat. Oh,
You think
This
so?
guy.
It's her showing feet in racial chats for me. I can't do the Doja.
let's not interrupt TJ no more.
TJ, come on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Silk Sonic dropped a single on Monday and Valentine's called Love's Train. Robin Thicke and Rhapsody dropped a single. And then I just want to give a shout out
What you
to
say, Robin Thicke?
Robin Thicke and Rhapsody.
Rhapsody is amazing, but Robin Thicke is back.
What a contrast.
It's a very interesting single.
Shout out to Paula Patton.
Yeah,
Right.
check that out if you can.
Passe Blanc.
But just two artists, two groups, two projects,
Talk
two
about it.
pieces of work. I just want everybody to go and check out. Shout out Deontay Hitchcock.
Oh.
He dropped an EP called Every Day the 14th, 4 tracks. He's from ATL. Very underrated. It's hard to
cat?
explain. What's up?
What kind of R&B cat?
He's hip hop. He's classified under hip hop, but he's kind of got like the
Hip and B.
melody.
He got
Yeah.
a
Oh,
melodic- he got a
like
melodic
blast,
joint?
like-
Okay.
But this is a
Bryson
very,
Tiller.
No, you just got to listen to it. But it's 4 tracks, very concise. It's one of those EPs.
Tell me the
like,
truth. Can the
you can
man
get to
sing?
it. Could man do that?
You got to listen to it.
Okay.
It's yeah.
What's his
But
name again?
He's called Deontay Hitchcock.
right,
Again, he's from ATL. You can follow him at
Shout out
Deontay VH. But
What's the second one?
the other one is called Tank and the Bangers.
Oh, I love me some Tank and the Bangers, baby.
Tank and the Bangers
The
dropped a
best
single with
Tiny
Alex.
Desk of all time.
They dropped a single with Alex
That's where I know
Isley.
the name from.
Yes.
Yeah, they dropped a single with Alex Isley and Masego. It's
Can we listen to that as soon as we
called
wrap?
it's called Black Folk.
Oh,
So I want everybody to
I know
go
that's
listen to that.
Oh, that gotta be
Really
fire.
good single, really good fire.
I saw Masego live.
Shout out Tank and the Bangers straight out of NOLA.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I got for y'all for music though. Slow week, but
Excellent.
We
Excellent.
appreciate that, TJ.
That was the longest
yeah.
we have let you go on with music,
Hey,
but
man.
I am here for
It
it.
was all worth it for Tank and the Bangers.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Traditional segment. Toast.
Yeah, man.
D, you want to lead us?
I'll lead us.
Let's get
pass
let's
some
get these
things
short.
right here.
Pull them, pass them things around.
I don't know what type of mic situation I'm doing here. Wow, this sounds way better than what I've been doing for 2 hours.
Yeah, you've been messing up. It's all
Love
good.
that for y'all.
The Squid Games. Give me my circle. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Make
I'm
sure
supposed
we
to
pass
You're
one
supposed to pass
to
Pass one to Iron Exposure. No
Iron
V.
Exposure.
No V, baby.
Iron Exposure. And I'm gonna make sure I give you your at time at the end too.
My boy. Iron
I apologize
Exposure.
for leaving you out at the end of the episodes.
Yeah, man.
All right,
It's like crazy.
go ahead, Dino.
Yo, man, this toast.
Don't spill that alcohol over the board.
Come on, I'm the board
All
king.
right. Okay.
The Board King. Board King. Like Burger
Yo,
King.
just like, and have it your way. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
Come on.
That's what you just did.
Oh, that's wrong.
Not have it your way in the bitch. You just mixed them together.
Sorry. I love it. Mickey Dino. Today's toast is to us and to, I said it earlier, it's kind of a spoiler alert, but to Black excellence, to Black beauty. I am unapologetically Black. This is the mid/end of February. We're approaching it, and I would really love to celebrate us. The one thing we have in common, as we've talked about, defining how much melanin is in your skin tone, what our personal as Black men, what our preferences are, celebrating Blackness in the sense of this, Kanye and his abhorrent, confidence in himself. All of that has in common is the one thread that all that has in common is it's all unapologetically Black. And so I really want to just kind of applaud that and applaud each of us in being unapologetically
Yes,
Black on the
sir.
Potnas podcast.
That's
So
right.
let's touch and
Yeah.
agree.
Unapologetically.
The shit that we doing.
A nigga.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Cheers, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Delicious.
By the way, nobody
Spicy,
tapped
spiky.
the table for
Yeah.
us.
I did. I
No,
tapped
I
it.
tapped.
We all tapped.
I tapped too.
You know what we should get into?
It didn't
The
look like
history of the tap.
Right.
There's some colloquial history behind it.
bring in
To stay grounded?
again.
some bad juju. If you don't
Always
tap
bring
it in.
ourselves back down to earth.
All that's correct.
All right, cool. All right, take us out, Dino.
You're now tuning into the sounds of the Potnas Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us on this beautiful journey, especially this elongated episode that is filled with edutainment. Hey, follow us on all social media platforms. Started with Dino.
Yeah, man. Follow me on at the Dictionary. THE_DIXONARY.
All right, Bradley.
Hey, follow me at Coolin and Poolin. That's COOLINANDPOOLIN.
Hey, Todd knows best.
Hey, follow me at Todd Knows Best. That's TODD. Knows best on everything.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, bring it back to me, baby. JT got soul. That's JT got SOLE. Follow our monitor man, the guy behind the scenes, Chris Anderson, aka at Iron Exposure. All right, I repeat, at Iron Exposure. He will make you look great.
Yeah, man.
All right, follow at Potnas Podcast. That's POTNAS Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. For all of our latest content, visit our website, potnaspodcast.com, for all of our previous episodes. Leave us a 5-star review if you enjoyed what you see and what you heard.
Check us out.
Potnas Podcast.
Yeah.
Word. We out, baby.
Keep the
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Shout out everybody that's technically single.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Hopefully everybody go find love. Get they love. Get yours.
Bell notification.